Cole Vale heard the voice before he saw the child. Please don't leave yet. He stopped walking. The lilies in his hand felt heavier than they should. November air bit at his face. The cemetery was empty. At least, it was supposed to be. He turned slowly. Two girls knelt in front of a headstone. His wife's headstone. They couldn't have been older than 7. Maybe 8. Their coats were thin. Their hands were bare. One held a plastic grocery bag. The other held flowers that looked 3 days dead. Cole's chest went tight. He took a step forward. Then another. The gravel crunched under his shoes. Neither girl looked up. "Excuse me," he said quietly. "Are you two okay?" The girl on the left raised her head. Her eyes were dark and calm. Too calm for a child. "Mama said you'd come when the flowers turned cold." Cole froze. His breath caught in his throat. The words didn't make sense. But they felt like they should. "What did you say?" The girl didn't repeat herself. Instead, she pointed at the lilies in his hand. Cole looked down. Frost had formed along the edges of the petals. He hadn't noticed it before. He always brought lilies on the 10th of the month. Nora loved them. Even in winter. But today, they were different. The cold had worked into them faster than usual. The white petals looked almost silver in the weak light. When the flowers turned cold, the girl said again. "That's what Mama told us." Cole's pulse hammered in his ears. "Who's your mama?" The second girl, smaller and quieter, reached into the grocery bag. She pulled out a photo. The edges were worn. The paper was creased down the middle like it had been folded and unfolded 100 times. She held it up. Cole stared. It was him. Younger. Smiling. Standing beside Nora in front of a lake. He remembered that day. It was 6 years ago. They'd gone upstate for her birthday. She'd laughed so hard she cried. The photo trembled in the girl's small hand. "Before we dive into this story, tell us where in the world you're watching from and what time it is right now. Someone near you might be watching too. And don't forget to subscribe to support and appreciate the work we do on this channel." Cole knelt down slowly. His knees hit the cold ground. He reached out, and the girl let him take it. He flipped it over. On the back, in handwriting he would recognize anywhere, was a message. "When the lilies are cold, follow the man who looks like this." Below that, a date. And Nora's initials. The world tilted. Cole's mouth went dry. His hands started shaking. He read the words again. Then again. They didn't change. "Where did you get this?" The first girl spoke. Her voice was steady. Too steady. "Mama gave it to us before she left." "Left where?" She didn't say. She just said we'd know when it was time. Cole looked at the headstone. Nora's name was carved into the stone. The dates underneath felt like they were burning into his vision. Nora Vale. Beloved wife. 1989 to 2023. 2 years. She'd been gone 2 years. "Your mother," Cole said slowly. "What was her name?" The girls looked at each other. Something passed between them. Some silent agreement. "She told us not to say yet." Cole's jaw clenched. He wanted to push. He wanted answers. But something in their faces stopped him. They weren't scared. They weren't confused. They were waiting. Like this was all part of a plan. "What are your names?" he asked instead. "I'm Sky," the first girl said. "I'm Maya," the second one whispered. Cole nodded. He didn't know what else to do. "Do you have somewhere to go? Someone taking care of you?" Sky shook her head. We've been waiting here. For how long? 3 days. Cole's stomach dropped. 3 days? Out here? Maya nodded. She pulled the grocery bag closer to her chest like it was the only thing keeping her warm. Cole stood up. He looked around the cemetery. No one else was there. No cars in the lot except his. No footprints in the frost except theirs. He looked back at the girls. They were still kneeling. Still watching him with those two calm eyes. You can't stay here, he said. It's too cold. We know, Sky said. That's why the flowers turned cold. That's why you came. Cole exhaled hard. His breath came out in a cloud. This didn't make sense. None of it made sense. But the photo in his hand was real. The handwriting was real. The girls were real. And Nora's voice, somewhere deep in his memory, whispered something he couldn't quite hear. Come with me, he said. Just for now. We'll figure this out. Sky stood first. Then Maya. They didn't hesitate. They didn't ask questions. They just followed. Cole walked back toward his car. The girls stayed close behind him. Their footsteps were soft. Almost silent. He opened the back door. They climbed in without a word. As he closed the door, Maya looked up at him through the window. Her face was pale. Her lips were almost blue. But her eyes weren't afraid. They were certain. Like she'd been waiting for him her whole life. Cole got into the driver's seat. He gripped the steering wheel. His wedding ring caught the light. He looked at it for a long moment. Then he looked in the rearview mirror. Sky was staring at his hand. And smiling. Cole drove in silence. The girls didn't speak. They didn't move much either. Just sat there in the back seat, hands folded, staring out the window like they'd done this before. He glanced at the rearview mirror. Sky was watching the trees pass. Maya was looking at his wedding ring. He turned his eyes back to the road. 5 minutes later, he pulled into the parking lot of a small cafe near the cemetery gate. It was the kind of place that stayed open late. Warm lights. Foggy windows. The smell of coffee and butter. Come on, he said, turning off the engine. The girls climbed out without asking where they were going. They followed him inside. The bell above the door chimed. A waitress looked up, smiled, then saw the girls and frowned slightly. Cole ignored it. He led them to a booth in the back corner. Sit, he said gently. They slid into the seat across from him. Their coats were damp from the cold. Their cheeks were red. The waitress came over. Cole ordered 3 hot chocolates without asking what they wanted. The girls didn't protest. When the waitress left, Cole leaned forward. Okay, he said. Start from the beginning. Who told you to wait at that grave? Sky looked at Maya. Maya looked down at her hands. Our mama, Sky said. And who is she? We don't know her real name. Cole blinked. You don't know your own mother's name? She told us to call her mama. That's all. Cole rubbed his face. His head was starting to hurt. Where is she now? She left 2 weeks ago. Left you where? At a shelter, Maya said quietly. She said someone would come for us. She said we just had to wait. The waitress returned with 3 mugs. Steam rose from them in thin curls. The girls wrapped their hands around the cups like they were holding something precious. Cole waited until the waitress walked away. And she told you to go to that grave? To wait for me? Sky nodded. She took a sip of the hot chocolate. Her hands were shaking. She said when the flowers turned cold, a man would come. She said he'd be wearing a ring like this. She pointed at Cole's left hand. He looked down. The gold band was still there. Still bright. He hadn't taken it off since the day Nora put it on him. She described my ring. She showed us, Maya said. She reached into the grocery bag again. This time, she pulled out a folded piece of paper. She slid it across the table. Cole unfolded it slowly. It was a drawing. Done in pencil. A man's hand. A ring on the fourth finger. The details were too accurate to be a guess. His throat went dry. She drew this? Maya nodded. Cole stared at the drawing. Then at the girls. Then back at the drawing. Why me? Why would she send you to me? She said you'd understand when you saw the envelope. What envelope? Skye reached into her coat pocket. She pulled out a sealed envelope. It was cream-colored. Slightly yellowed at the edges. The kind of paper people used for letters that mattered. She placed it on the table between them. Cole's heart stopped. His name was written on the front in black ink. Cole Vale. The handwriting was unmistakable. It was Nora's. He didn't move. He couldn't. The air in the cafe felt too thick. Too warm. His chest was tight. Where did you get this? Mama gave it to us, Skye said. She said not to open it. She said only you could. Cole picked up the envelope with both hands. The paper was smooth. Expensive. The kind Nora used for thank you notes. He turned it over. The seal was still intact. On the back, in smaller writing, was another message. Open only when your hands are warm. Cole's breath caught. That was something Nora used to say. When he came home from work in the winter. When his fingers were cold and stiff. She'd make him tea and tell him to wait. Open the mail when your hands are warm, she'd say. Bad news feels worse when you're cold. He looked up at the girls. How long have you had this? 2 weeks, Maya said. And you didn't open it? Mama said only you. Cole swallowed hard. His hands were warm now. The hot chocolate mug had done its job. But he wasn't ready. He set the envelope down on the table. He looked at the girls. Their faces were pale. Their eyes were tired. But they weren't scared. They were waiting. Like they'd been told this was all going to happen exactly this way. What else did she tell you? Cole asked. Skye took another sip of her drink. She set the mug down carefully. She said you'd take us somewhere safe. Just for the night. And then what? Then you'd know what to do. Cole leaned back against the booth. He felt like the ground was shifting under him. Everything about this felt wrong. But also right. Like pieces of a puzzle he didn't know he was solving. You two can't stay outside, he said. Not in this cold. We know, Maya whispered. I'll take you somewhere warm. But only if you tell me the truth. No more riddles. No more waiting. The girls looked at each other again. Then Skye reached back into the grocery bag. She pulled out one more thing. A single key. Brass. Old-looking. A tag hung from it with a number written in Nora's handwriting. Storage 44C. Cole stared at it. What is that? Mama said you'd know. But he didn't. He'd never seen that key before in his life. Skye slid it across the table. It stopped right next to the envelope. She said everything you need is in there. Cole picked up the key. It was cold. Heavier than it looked. And suddenly, he realized something. Nora hadn't just left him a message. She'd left him a plan. Cole held the key in his palm. It felt like it weighed more than it should. Storage 44C. He'd never heard of it. Never seen it. But Nora's handwriting was on the tag, and that meant it mattered. "Where's this storage unit?" he asked. "We don't know," Sky said. "Mama just gave us the key." Cole set it down next to the envelope. Two pieces of a puzzle he didn't understand yet. He looked at the girls. They were still holding their mugs. Their fingers had stopped shaking. The warmth was helping. "You can't go back to that cemetery tonight," he said. "It's too cold. I'll take you somewhere safe." Sky nodded slowly. Maya looked at her sister, then back at Cole. "Just for tonight?" Maya asked. "For as long as it takes to figure this out." Sky tilted her head. "Mama said you'd say that." Cole's jaw tightened. "She said a lot of things, didn't she? Only the ones that mattered." He didn't have an answer for that. He stood up and left cash on the table. The girls slid out of the booth, grocery bag in hand. Sky grabbed the envelope and the key before Cole could. "I'll hold these," she said. Cole didn't argue. They walked out into the parking lot. The sky had darkened. Streetlights buzzed overhead. The cold hit harder now. Cole unlocked the car and opened the back door. "Wait," Maya said. She turned and ran back toward the cemetery gate. "Maya!" Cole called. But she didn't stop. Sky stayed by the car, calm as ever. She forgot the lilies. Cole watched as Maya ran to the grave. She picked up the flowers they'd left there, wilted, frozen, barely holding together. Then she ran back, clutching them against her chest. "I promised Mama we'd keep them," she said, breathing hard. Cole nodded. "Get in." The girls climbed into the back seat. Maya set the lilies carefully on her lap. Sky put the grocery bag between them. Cole got into the driver's seat and started the engine. He didn't know where he was going yet. He just knew they couldn't stay here. He pulled out of the lot and drove toward the city. The girls were quiet again. The only sound was the hum of the heater and the soft crunch of tires on cold pavement. After a few minutes, Cole glanced in the mirror. "What else is in that bag?" Sky looked down. "Things Mama told us to keep." "Like what?" Maya hesitated. Then she reached in and pulled out a sweater. It was honey-colored. Soft. The kind of thing someone wore when they wanted to feel safe. Cole's hands tightened on the wheel. He knew that sweater. Nora used to wear it every Sunday morning. She'd make coffee in it. Read in it. Curl up on the couch and fall asleep in it. He thought he'd donated it 2 years ago. After she died. He couldn't stand seeing it in the closet. "Where did you get that?" His voice came out rougher than he meant. "Mama gave it to us," Maya said. "She said it smelled like home." Cole's throat closed up. He didn't say anything. He couldn't. Sky reached into the bag next. She pulled out a brush. Wooden handle. Soft bristles. Nora's initials were carved into the side. "She gave us this too," Sky said. Cole felt like the air had been sucked out of the car. These weren't random things. These were Nora's things. Things that shouldn't exist anymore. Things that shouldn't be in the hands of 2 little girls he'd never met. "What else?" he asked quietly. Maya looked at Sky. Sky nodded. Maya pulled out the key again. But this time, she turned it over. On the back of the tag, in smaller writing, was an address. Cole squinted at it in the mirror. Westfield Storage. Unit 44C. Code, 1120. His stomach dropped. 1120. November 20th. Nora's birthday. Did she tell you what's in there? Cole asked. No, Sky said. Just that you'd need it when you were ready. Ready for what? For us. The words hit him like a punch. He pulled over to the side of the road. Put the car in park. Turned around to face them. What does that mean? The girls didn't answer. They just looked at him with those calm, knowing eyes. Cole ran a hand through his hair. His mind was racing. None of this made sense. Nora had been gone for 2 years. She couldn't have planned this. She couldn't have known. But the envelope. The key. The sweater. The brush. All of it was hers. Why now? He asked. Why did your mama wait 2 years to send you to me? Sky's face didn't change. She didn't wait. We did. What? Mama said the flowers had to turn cold first. She said you weren't ready before that. Cole stared at her. How would she know when I'd be ready? Because she knew you, Maya said softly. Cole's chest ached. He turned back around. Gripped the wheel. Stared out at the road ahead. The envelope sat on the seat beside Sky. Still sealed. Still waiting. He wanted to open it. He wanted to tear it apart and read every word. But something stopped him. Nora's voice, in his head, repeating the same thing she always said. Open only when your hands are warm. His hands were warm now. But his heart wasn't. Not yet. He put the car back in drive. We're going to that storage unit, he said. Right now. Sky and Maya didn't react. They just sat there, holding the lilies and the grocery bag like they'd been expecting this all along. Cole pulled back onto the road. Behind them, the cemetery disappeared into the dark. Ahead, the city lights flickered. And somewhere between the two, a truth was waiting that Cole wasn't sure he was ready to face. But the key was in his hand now. And the only way forward was to use it. Cole changed his mind halfway to the storage facility. The girls needed more than answers tonight. They needed food. Sleep. A bed that wasn't a bench or cold ground. He took the next exit and headed toward downtown instead. 10 minutes later, he pulled up outside a 3-story building with yellow light spilling from every window. A sign hung above the door, Haven House. He knew this place. Everyone in the city did. It was run by Rhea Stanton, a woman who'd built a shelter out of stubbornness and spare change. Nora used to volunteer here on weekends. Wait here, Cole said. He got out and walked to the front door. Inside, the air smelled like soup and clean laundry. A woman stood behind a desk, writing something in a thick ledger. She looked up. Cole Vale, she said before he could introduce himself. He nodded. You know me? Everyone does. She set her pen down. But I'm guessing you're not here to write a check. I need help. Rhea tilted her head. She was older, maybe 60, with silver hair tied back and sharp eyes that didn't miss much. What kind of help? Cole glanced back at the car. I have 2 girls with me. They've been outside for 3 days. I don't know where else to take them. Rhea's expression shifted. Not surprised. More like she'd been waiting for this. Bring them in. Cole walked back to the car and opened the door. Sky climbed out first, then Maya. They followed him inside without hesitation. Rhea came around the desk. She knelt down so she was eye level with the girls. You two look cold, she said gently. We're okay now, Sky said. Rhea smiled, but it didn't quite reach her eyes. She stood and looked at Cole. Come with me. She led them through a hallway into a small office. Shelves lined the walls, stacked with folders and donation boxes. A space heater hummed in the corner. Rhea gestured to the chairs. The girls sat. Cole stayed standing. "Tell me what's going on," Rhea said. Cole explained everything. The cemetery. The photo. The envelope. The key. He left out the part about Nora's handwriting. He wasn't ready to say that out loud yet. Rhea listened without interrupting. When he finished, she walked over to a filing cabinet and pulled out a ledger. She flipped through it, then stopped on a page. "Two children," she read aloud. "Arrived 14 days ago. Escorted by a woman named Lena. No last name given. She said someone would pick them up within the week." Cole's pulse quickened. What did this woman look like? "I didn't see her. My night manager checked them in." Rhea looked at the girls. "But the description matches these two." Sky and Maya didn't react. They just sat there, hands folded. "Did Lena leave anything else?" Cole asked. Rhea turned the page. A grocery bag. A note. And a copy of a key. Cole froze. A copy? Rhea reached into a drawer and pulled out a brass key. Same size. Same shape. Same tag. Storage 44C. Cole took it from her. It was identical to the one Sky had given him. Why would she leave a copy here? "I don't know," Rhea said. "But she told my manager that if no one came, we should check the storage unit ourselves." "And did you?" "No. I figured if someone was coming, they'd show up when they were ready." She looked at Cole. "And here you are." Cole set the key on the desk. His mind was spinning. "Who is Lena?" "That's what I've been trying to figure out," Rhea said. She pulled out another folder. Inside was a photocopy of a driver's license. Cole stared at it. The woman in the photo was younger than he expected. Maybe 30. Dark hair. Tired eyes. But her face was unfamiliar. "You know her?" Rhea asked. Cole shook his head. "Then how did she know about you?" "I don't know." Rhea closed the folder. She leaned back against the desk and crossed her arms. "This whole thing," she said slowly, "feels like someone planned it down to the hour." "It does. And the only person who could have done that is someone who knew you. Knew these girls. Knew when you'd be ready to find them." Cole's throat tightened. Rhea looked at the envelope still in Sky's hand. "You going to open that?" "Not yet." "Why not?" "Because I need to know what's in that storage unit first." Rhea nodded. "Then go. I'll watch the girls." Cole looked at Sky and Maya. They didn't look scared. They looked like they'd been through this before. "You'll be safe here," he told them. Sky nodded. Maya held the lilies a little tighter. "We'll wait," Sky said. Cole turned to leave, but Rhea stopped him. "One more thing." He turned back. She handed him a slip of paper. It was a receipt. Handwritten. Dated 2 weeks ago. Paid in full. Unit 44C. Westfield Storage. Renter, Nora Vale. Cole's heart stopped. "Where did you get this?" "It was in the grocery bag," Rhea said. "The one Lena left." Cole stared at the name. Nora's name. Written 2 weeks ago. But Nora had been dead for 2 years. "That's impossible," he whispered. Rhea's face was calm. "Maybe. Or maybe someone's been paying that unit in her name all along." Cole couldn't breathe. "Who?" "That," Rhea said, "is what you're about to find out." The storage facility was on the edge of town, past the warehouses and train tracks. Cole pulled into the parking lot at 9:30. The place was mostly empty. He grabbed the key and walked toward the rows of units. His breath came out in clouds. The overhead lights buzzed and flickered. Unit 44C was in the back corner. He stood in front of it for a full minute before putting the key in the lock. It turned easily. The door rolled up with a metallic groan. Inside, the unit was small. Maybe 6 feet by 6 feet. The air smelled like dust and old cardboard. There was only one thing inside. A box. It sat in the center of the floor, perfectly placed. The cardboard was clean. No dirt. No tears. Tape sealed it shut on all sides. Cole stepped inside. The motion sensor light clicked on above him. He knelt down in front of the box. On top, written in black marker, was a message. For Cole, when the lilies are cold. His hand started shaking. That was Nora's handwriting. He'd know it anywhere. The way she curved her L's. The way her O's tilted slightly to the right. He ran his fingers over the words. They felt raised, like she'd pressed hard when she wrote them. Cole sat back on his heels. His chest felt tight. How long had this box been here? Who paid for the unit? And why had Nora left something for him 2 years after she died? He reached for the tape and peeled it back slowly. The sound echoed in the small space. The flaps opened. Inside, the box was lined with tissue paper. Underneath, he saw 3 things. 2 small hospital bracelets. A photo. And another envelope. Cole picked up the bracelets first. They were tiny. The kind they put on newborns in the hospital. Plastic, with printed labels. He held them up to the light. The first one read, Baby A Veil. The second one read, Baby B Veil. His heart stopped. He stared at the names. Read them again. Then again. Veil. His last name. But that didn't make sense. He and Nora never had children. She got sick before they could try. The treatments took that option away. They'd talked about it once, late at night, when the hospital room was quiet. She'd held his hand and told him it was okay. That they'd be enough for each other. And they were. So why were there hospital bracelets with his name on them? He set them down carefully and picked up the photo. It was an ultrasound. Black and white. Grainy. The kind they print out and hand you in a plastic sleeve. 2 shapes were visible in the image. Small. Curled. Side by side. At the bottom, a label, twins. 12 weeks. Cole's vision blurred. He turned the photo over. On the back, in Nora's handwriting, Our Girls. October 2021. October 2021. That was 4 years ago. A year before she got sick. Cole's hands were trembling so hard he almost dropped the photo. He set it down next to the bracelets and pressed his palms against his knees. This couldn't be real. Nora never mentioned twins. Never mentioned a pregnancy. Never mentioned any of this. He would have known. He would have been there. Unless she didn't tell him. But why? He picked up the envelope. It was thicker than the one Sky had. The paper was stiff. Official looking. The front was addressed to someone else. Jonas Pike, Esq. Cole knew that name. Jonas was a lawyer. He handled Nora's will after she passed. Good man. Honest. Nora trusted him. But why would she leave an envelope for him here? Cole tore it open. Inside was a single sheet of paper. Folded once. He opened it. At the top, in printed text, Certificate of Surrogacy Agreement. Below that, signatures. Dates. Legal terms he didn't fully understand. But one line stood out. Intended parents, Cole Vale and Nora Vale. His breath caught. Surrogate, Lena Marsh. That name. Lena. The same woman who dropped the girls off at the shelter. Cole scanned the rest of the document. His eyes caught on phrases. Embryo transfer completed October 2021. Successful twin pregnancy confirmed. Birth scheduled June 2022. He stopped reading. June 2022. That was 3 years ago. That was 6 months after Nora's diagnosis. Cole lowered the paper. He stared at the wall of the storage unit. His mind couldn't keep up. Nora had arranged a surrogacy. Before she got too sick. Before the treatments took everything. She'd planned for children. Their children. And she never told him. Why? He looked back at the bracelets. At the ultrasound. At the certificate. Baby A, Baby B. Sky and Maya. His daughters. The realization hit him like a train. Those 2 girls sitting in Ria's office right now weren't strangers. They weren't just lost children who happened to find him. They were his. Cole's throat closed up. Tears burned at the edges of his eyes. He picked up the ultrasound again. Stared at the 2 small shapes. His hands wouldn't stop shaking. Nora had done this. She'd planned everything. The surrogacy. The timing. The key. The photos. The message on the gravestone. She'd known she wouldn't survive. So she'd made sure he wouldn't be alone. But why wait 2 years? Why send the girls to him now, and not sooner? Cole folded the certificate and shoved it back into the envelope. He gathered the bracelets and the ultrasound and put everything back in the box. Then he saw it. At the very bottom, underneath the tissue paper, was something else. A small rectangle. Black plastic. A label on the side. USB drive. Cole pulled it out. Turned it over in his hand. Taped to the back was a sticky note. Nora's handwriting again. Watch this before you go to Jonas. His pulse hammered in his ears. He stood up, box in his arms, and walked out of the unit. The door rolled shut behind him. By the time he got back to the car, his hands had stopped shaking. But his heart hadn't. Because whatever was on that drive was the answer. And he wasn't sure he was ready to hear it. Cole drove straight to Jonas Pike's office. It was late, almost 10, but Jonas answered on the first ring. "Come now," he said. No questions. Like he'd been expecting the call. The office was downtown, on the 3rd floor of an old brick building. Cole climbed the stairs 2 at a time, the box tucked under his arm. Jonas was waiting at the door. He was in his 60s, silver-haired, wearing a cardigan instead of a suit. He looked at the box in Cole's hands and nodded slowly. "You found it." Cole stepped inside. The office smelled like wood polish and old books. A single lamp glowed on the desk. The rest of the room was dark. "You knew about this?" Cole's voice was rough. Jonas closed the door. "Sit down." "I don't want to sit. I want answers." Jonas walked to his desk and opened a drawer. He pulled out a laptop and set it on the desk. Then he reached back into the drawer and pulled out another envelope. Nora's handwriting on the front. Cole stared at it. "How many of these are there?" he asked. "Enough," Jonas said. She was thorough. Cole set the box on the desk. He pulled out the USB drive and held it up. "What's on this?" Her explanation. "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" Jonas met his eyes. "Because she told me not to. She said you'd come when you were ready. Not before. And you just went along with that?" "She was dying," Cole. And she knew what she was doing. Jonas gestured to the laptop. Watch it. Then we'll talk. Cole's jaw tightened. He wanted to argue. He wanted to throw the drive across the room. But instead, he sat down. Jonas plugged the drive into the laptop. A video file appeared on the screen. He clicked it, then stepped back. The screen went black for a second. Then Nora's face appeared. Cole's breath stopped. She looked younger. Healthier. Her hair was still long. Her eyes were bright. This was before the final round of treatment. Before everything got worse. She was sitting in a chair, hands folded in her lap. A window behind her showed daylight. Birds chirped faintly in the background. She smiled. Hi, Cole. Her voice hit him like a wave. He leaned forward, hands gripping the edge of the desk. If you're watching this, Nora continued, then two small hands have already found you. Cole's throat closed up. Don't ask if you're ready, she said. Ask if they're cold. She paused. Her smile softened. I know you're confused. I know this doesn't make sense. But I need you to listen. All the way through. Can you do that for me? Cole nodded, even though she couldn't see him. Nora took a breath. When we found out I was sick, we talked about a lot of things. What we'd do. What we'd leave behind. You said you were okay without kids. You said we were enough. Her eyes glistened. And we were. But I wasn't ready to let go of the idea completely. Not yet. She looked down at her hands. So I made a choice. I went to a clinic. I talked to doctors. And I arranged a surrogacy. I used our embryos. The ones we'd frozen before treatment started. I found a woman named Lena who agreed to carry them. Cole's chest ached. I didn't tell you because I didn't want you to hope. I didn't want you to plan for something that might not happen. And I didn't want you to lose twice. Nora wiped at her eyes. The twins were born in June. Healthy. Beautiful. Perfect. Lena took care of them while I got sicker. I paid her. I gave her instructions. And I told her when to bring them to you. She looked directly at the camera. Not right away. You weren't ready then. You needed time to grieve. Time to remember who you were before me. So I told Lena to wait. 2 years. Until the lilies turned cold. Cole's hands were shaking. I know that sounds strange, Nora said. But you always brought me lilies on the 10th. Every month. And in November, they freeze faster than you think. I knew you'd notice. I knew you'd stop. She smiled again, but it was sad this time. I wanted you to find them when you were ready to see past your grief. When you could look at 2 little girls and not see what you lost. But what you still had. Her voice cracked. They're ours, Cole. Sky and Maya. They have your stubbornness and my terrible sense of humor. They're smart. They're kind. And they've been waiting for you. Tears rolled down her cheeks. I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner. I'm sorry I made this choice without you. But I needed to know that if I couldn't stay, someone else would. Someone who'd love them the way we would have together. She leaned closer to the camera. Don't ask if you're ready. You are. You always were. Just don't let them stay cold. The screen went black. Cole sat there, staring at nothing. Jonas didn't move. Didn't speak. After a long moment, Cole's voice came out as a whisper. Where are they now? At the shelter, Jonas said. With Rhea. Cole stood up. His legs felt weak. He grabbed the box and turned toward the door. Cole, Jonas said. He stopped. Jonas slid the envelope across the desk. She left this for you too. Open it when you get home. Cole took it without looking. Then he walked out. The hallway was dark. The stairs creaked under his weight. By the time he reached the street, his phone was already ringing. It was Rhea. He answered. Cole, she said. Her voice was tight. You need to get back here. Now. What's wrong? The girls. They're gone. Cole ran 3 red lights getting back to the shelter. He pulled into the lot, killed the engine, and sprinted to the front door. It was unlocked. He shoved it open. Rhea. She appeared from the hallway, hands up. They're fine. They're fine. Breathe. Cole stopped. His heart was hammering. You said they were gone. They were. For about 10 minutes. They went outside to the garden. One of the volunteers found them sitting by the fence. Why didn't you lead with that? Rhea gave him a look. Because you needed to feel what it's like to lose them. Now you know. Cole's hands were still shaking. He wanted to be angry. But she was right. Where are they now? In the back room. Eating cookies. He followed her down the hallway. The shelter was quiet. Most of the lights were off. Through a doorway, he saw Sky and Maya sitting at a small table. A plate of cookies between them. They looked up when he walked in. You came back, Sky said. Of course I did. Maya smiled. She was holding one of the wilted lilies. It was starting to fall apart, but she held it like it mattered. Rhea gestured for Cole to follow her back out. He hesitated, then nodded at the girls. Stay here. I'll be right back. They didn't argue. In the hallway, Rhea crossed her arms. You watched the video? Yeah. And? She planned everything. The surrogacy. The timing. All of it. Rhea nodded slowly. That sounds like Nora. Cole leaned against the wall. His head hurt. His chest hurt. Everything hurt. I don't know what to do next. Yes, you do. He looked at her. What? You take them home. You feed them. You let them sleep in a warm bed. And tomorrow, you figure out the rest. It's not that simple. It is. You're making it complicated. Cole ran a hand through his hair. There's paperwork. Legal stuff. Jonas mentioned guardianship forms and DNA tests and... Rhea held up a hand. Stop. He stopped. She stepped closer. Her voice was calm, but firm. Paper follows love, she said. Never the other way around. Cole stared at her. You think those girls care about DNA results? You think they're waiting for a judge to tell them who you are? But they already know. You already know. Everything else is just catching up. Cole looked down at the floor. He didn't have an answer for that. You called them, the girls, 3 times since you walked in, Rhea said. Not those kids. Not Sky and Maya. You said, the girls. Like they're already yours. His throat tightened. I don't remember when I started doing that. That's my point. Rhea turned and walked back toward the office. Cole followed. Inside, Jonas was waiting. He had a briefcase open on the desk. Papers spread out in neat stacks. Guardianship forms, Jonas said, pointing. Temporary custody agreement. DNA consent forms. Birth certificates. All of it. Cole looked at the pile. It felt like too much. When do I need to do this? Soon. But not tonight. Rhea leaned against the doorframe. He's right. Tonight, you just take them home. Cole picked up one of the forms. His name was already typed at the top. So were Sky's and Maya's. How long will the DNA test take? A week. Maybe 2. Jonas closed the briefcase. But honestly? I don't think you need it. Why not? Because Nora doesn't lie. If she said they're yours, they're yours. Cole set the paper down. He looked at Rhea, then at Jonas. What if I mess this up? Rhea smiled. You will. Everyone does. That's not the question. Then what is? The question, she said, is whether you'll keep showing up anyway. Cole didn't respond. He couldn't. Jonas handed him a folder. Take this. It has everything you need for now. We'll handle the rest later. Cole took the folder. It felt heavy. Heavier than it should. Thank you. Jonas nodded. Go. They're waiting. Cole walked back to the room where the girls were. They'd finished the cookies. Maya was yawning. Sky was braiding a piece of Maya's hair. Ready to go? Cole asked. They stood up without a word. Sky grabbed the grocery bag. Maya grabbed the lilies. They followed him out to the car. The night was colder now. Frost was starting to form on the windshields in the parking lot. Cole opened the back door. The girls climbed in. He got into the driver's seat and started the engine. The heater kicked on. The radio stayed off. The only sound was the hum of tires on pavement. Cole glanced in the mirror. Sky was looking out the window. Maya was leaning against her sister, eyes half closed. Where are we going? Sky asked. Home, Cole said. Who's home? He paused. Then he said it. Ours. Sky met his eyes in the mirror. She didn't smile. But something in her face softened. Okay. They drove through the city in silence. The lights blurred past. The streets were mostly empty. 20 minutes later, Cole pulled into the underground garage of his building. He parked and turned off the engine. We're here. The girls climbed out. They followed him to the elevator. He pressed the button for the top floor. The elevator rose smoothly. No one spoke. When the doors opened, Cole led them down the hall to his door. He unlocked it and stepped inside. The apartment was dark. Cold. He hadn't been home in hours. He flipped on the light. The girls walked in slowly, looking around. It was big. Too big. The kind of place that felt empty even when someone was there. Sky set the grocery bag down by the door. Maya still held the lilies. Cole walked to the kitchen. He turned on the lamp above the counter. The one Nora always insisted should stay lit. The warm glow filled the room. And then he heard it. A small gasp. He turned around. Maya was staring at the lamp. Her face had gone pale. That's the lamp, she whispered. Cole frowned. What? The one Mama told us about. Sky stepped closer. She was staring too. She said when we saw it, we'd know we were home. Cole's chest tightened. She told you about this lamp? Maya nodded. She said it would always be on. No matter what. Cole looked at the lamp. He'd left it on for 2 years. Every single night. He didn't know why. It just felt wrong to turn it off. And now he understood. Nora had told them. She'd described this place. This light. This exact moment. She'd known they'd end up here. Sky walked over to the counter. She touched the base of the lamp gently. She said you'd keep it on for us. Cole's throat burned. I did. Maya looked up at him. Her eyes were wet. Does that mean we can stay? Before Cole could answer, his phone buzzed. He pulled it out. A text from an unknown number. You have something that belongs to me. We need to talk. Now. Cole stared at the text. You have something that belongs to me. We need to talk. Now. His finger hovered over the reply button. Is something wrong? Sky asked. He looked up. Both girls were watching him. Their faces were tired. Their eyes were heavy. He turned the phone off and slid it into his pocket. Nothing that can't wait until morning. It was a lie. But it was also the truth. Whatever this was, whoever sent that message, they could wait. The girls couldn't. Are you hungry? He asked. Maya nodded. Sky shrugged, which he figured meant yes. Cole walked into the kitchen and opened the fridge. It was mostly empty. Some eggs. Butter. A carton of milk that might be expired. He closed the fridge and opened the cabinet above the stove. Inside, stacked neatly, were Nora's notebooks. She'd kept dozens of them. Recipes. Notes. Random thoughts written at 3 in the morning. He pulled out the one labeled soups that make sense. The handwriting on the cover made his chest ache. He opened it. The pages were stained with oil and spice marks. Little notes in the margins. He found the chicken soup recipe halfway through. Nora had underlined it twice. Written at the top, this one fixes everything. Cole smiled despite himself. He checked the pantry. Surprisingly, he had most of what he needed. Chicken stock. Noodles. A few carrots that weren't completely soft yet. An onion. Some garlic. He started chopping. The knife felt good in his hand. Steady. Predictable. Behind him, the girls sat at the counter. They didn't talk. Just watched. Mama used to make soup, Maya said quietly. Cole glanced over his shoulder. Yeah. Every Sunday. She said it was better than medicine. She was right. He dropped the onions into the pot. They sizzled. The smell filled the kitchen. Sharp at first, then sweet. Sky leaned forward. That smells like her house. Cole paused. You remember her house? A little. It was small. And warm. Where was it? I don't know. We were too young. Cole nodded. He didn't push. He just kept cooking. The soup came together faster than he expected. He tasted it. Added salt. Tasted again. It was close. Not perfect. But close. He ladled it into 3 bowls and set them on the counter. Then he grabbed spoons and sat down across from the girls. They ate slowly. Carefully. Like they weren't sure if it was okay to enjoy it. You can eat faster, Cole said. There's more if you want it. Sky looked up. You made extra? Always. She smiled a little. Then went back to eating. They finished in silence. When the bowls were empty, Cole washed them in the sink. The girls stayed at the counter, watching the lamp burn. Can we sleep here? Maya asked. Her voice was so quiet he almost missed it. Just for today, Sky added quickly. We don't want to bother you. Cole turned off the water. He dried his hands on a towel and turned around. You're not bothering me. But we don't have beds. I have a guest room. With 2 beds. The girls looked at each other. Some silent conversation passed between them. Okay, Sky said. Cole led them down the hall. The guest room was at the end. He opened the door and flipped on the light. Two twin beds sat against opposite walls. White sheets. Clean pillows. Nora had set this room up years ago, for guests who never came. Now Cole understood why. Bathrooms across the hall, he said. There are towels in the cabinet. And toothbrushes under the sink. You have toothbrushes? Maya asked. Nora always kept extras. The girls nodded like that made sense. Cole left them to get ready. He walked back to the kitchen and stood under the lamp. The light was soft. Warm. It made the whole apartment feel less empty. 10 minutes later, the girls came back. They were wearing oversized shirts Cole had left on the beds. Their hair was damp from washing their faces. Ready for bed? He asked. They nodded. He walked them back to the room. Sky climbed into the bed by the window. Maya took the one by the door. Cole pulled the blankets up over them. It felt strange. Familiar. Like something he'd done before but couldn't remember. Good night, he said. Good night, they said together. He turned off the light and started to leave. Cole? Maya's voice stopped him. Yeah. Thank you. His throat tightened. You don't have to thank me. Mama said we should. She said you'd need to hear it. He didn't know what to say to that. So he just nodded and closed the door halfway. Back in the kitchen, he sat at the counter. The lamp glowed beside him. The apartment was quiet. But it didn't feel dead anymore. It felt like something was starting. He pulled out his phone and turned it back on. The text was still there. He opened it. Read it again. You have something that belongs to me. We need to talk. Now. He typed a reply. Who is this? The response came in seconds. Lena. And those girls aren't yours. Not yet. Cole's jaw clenched. He typed back. They're mine. Nora made sure of that. 3 dots appeared. Then disappeared. Then appeared again. Finally, the message came through. Nora's dead. Her plan died with her. I carried those girls. I raised them. And I'm not done with them yet. Cole's blood went cold. He stood up. His hands were shaking. He looked down the hall toward the guest room. The door was still halfway open. The girls were asleep. Safe. For now. Another text came through. I'll be at your building in 10 minutes. We're going to talk. Or I'm going to make this very public. Your choice. Cole's phone buzzed again. This time, it was a photo. A picture of him and the girls walking into the shelter earlier that night. Taken from across the street. The angle was deliberate. The lighting was perfect. Underneath, one line of text. Billionaire kidnaps homeless children. That's the headline if you don't answer the door. Cole didn't answer the door. He turned off his phone instead. Blocked the number. And stood in the dark hallway, listening. Lena never knocked. After 20 minutes, he checked the security camera in the lobby. Empty. She was gone. But the damage was already done. By morning, his phone was exploding. He woke up to 47 missed calls. 32 texts. 15 voicemails. He scrolled through them with one hand, coffee in the other. Most were from people he barely knew. Reporters. Bloggers. Old business contacts looking for a statement. Then he saw the headline. Someone had texted him a link. He clicked it. The article loaded. Billionaire spotted with homeless children, mystery or publicity stunt? Below the headline was a photo. It was him. Walking out of the shelter last night. Grocery bag in one hand. Sky and Maya behind him. Their faces were visible. Clear. Too clear. His stomach dropped. The article was short. Speculative. But it didn't need to be long. The photo did all the talking. Cole Vale, CEO of Vale Industries, was photographed late last night escorting two unidentified children from a local homeless shelter. Sources say the children have been staying with Vale since yesterday. No official statement has been made. Questions remain about the nature of this relationship and whether authorities have been notified. Cole set the phone down. His hands were shaking. In the guest room, the girls were still asleep. The door was cracked. He could hear Maya's soft breathing. His phone buzzed again. This time, it was Victor Hale, chairman of the board. The man who'd kept the company running while Cole spent 2 years buried in grief. Cole answered. "We need to talk," Victor said. No greeting. No warmth. "Good morning to you too. This isn't a joke, Cole. You're trending. Do you understand what that means? People are bored. People are asking questions. And we need to get ahead of this before it turns into a circus." Cole walked to the window. The city stretched out below him. Gray. Cold. Indifferent. "What do you want me to do? Issue a statement? Say they're family friends? Say you're helping them temporarily while arrangements are being made? That's a lie. It's damage control. They're my daughters, Victor." Silence on the other end. Then Victor's voice came back, sharper. "Excuse me? You heard me. You don't have daughters." "I do now." Another pause. Longer this time. "Cole, I don't know what's going on, but we need to handle this carefully. The board is already concerned about your decision-making." "My decision-making? You've been distant. Distracted. And now you're bringing random children into your home without telling anyone. It doesn't look good." Cole's jaw tightened. "Say their names." "What?" "Their names. Sky and Maya. Say them." Victor didn't respond. "You can't, can you? Because they're not real to you. They're just a problem. Just bad optics." "Cole. I'm not issuing a statement. And I'm not lying about who they are. Then the board will have to get involved. Let them." Victor exhaled hard. "There's an emergency meeting scheduled for tomorrow morning. 9 sharp. They're going to ask you about this. About your judgment. About whether you're fit to keep running this company." Cole laughed. It came out bitter. 2 years. I kept my head down for 2 years. Didn't complain. Didn't ask for help. Did everything you wanted. And now, the second I start living again, you question my stability? This isn't about you living. It's about you making reckless decisions. Taking care of my kids isn't reckless. They're not your kids, Cole. Not legally. Not yet. And until they are, this looks like a man in crisis making bad choices. Cole hung up. He stood there, phone in hand, staring at nothing. Behind him, a small voice spoke. "Are we in trouble?" He turned. Sky stood in the hallway. Her hair was messy. Her eyes were wide. "No," Cole said. "You're not in trouble. But people are mad. Not at you." "At you?" Cole nodded. Sky walked closer. She looked up at him. "Because of us?" "Because they don't understand yet." "Will they?" "Eventually." She didn't look convinced. Maya appeared behind her, rubbing her eyes. "What's happening?" Nothing, Cole said. Just some noise. It'll pass. But even as he said it, his phone buzzed again. Another text. Another headline. This one worse. Who are the mystery children? Sources claim Vail has no legal custody. Then another. Vail Industries stock dips as CEO faces questions about recent behavior. Then another. A photo of Nora. An old one. From a charity event. The caption underneath, "What would Nora Vail think?" Cole turned the phone off. "Are you hungry?" he asked the girls. They nodded. He walked to the kitchen. Turned on the lamp. Started making breakfast. Eggs. Toast. Orange juice. The girls sat at the counter. Quiet. Watching. Sky's eyes kept flicking toward his phone. "Are they going to take us away?" she asked. Cole stopped cracking eggs. He looked at her. "No." "How do you know?" "Because I won't let them." Maya's voice was small. "But what if they try?" Cole set the eggs down. He walked around the counter and knelt in front of them. "Listen to me. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what they write. You're staying with me. That's not changing." Sky's lip trembled. "Promise?" "Promise." But even as he said it, his doorbell rang. All three of them froze. Cole stood slowly. Walked to the door. Checked the peephole. Two people stood in the hallway. A man and a woman. Both wearing suits. Both holding badges. The woman knocked. "Mr. Vail? We're with Child Protective Services. We need to talk." Cole opened the door halfway. The woman held up her badge. "Mr. Vail, I'm Sandra Chen. This is my colleague, Marcus Ross. We received a report about 2 minors in your care." Cole didn't move. "Who reported it?" "That's confidential." "May we come in?" He looked back at the girls. They were frozen at the counter. Eyes wide. Breakfast half made on the stove. "Give me a minute," Cole said. He closed the door. Walked back to the kitchen. Knelt down in front of Sky and Maya. "These people are going to ask some questions. Just tell them the truth. Tell them you're safe. Tell them you're staying here because you want to. Can you do that?" Sky nodded. Maya grabbed his hand. "It's going to be okay," he said. He stood and opened the door again. Sandra and Marcus stepped inside. They looked around the apartment. Taking notes. Observing. "Nice place," Marcus said. No emotion in his voice. Sandra walked toward the kitchen. She smiled at the girls. "Hi there. I'm Sandra. What are your names?" "Sky." "Maya." "Those are pretty names. Are you two sisters?" They nodded. Sandra pulled out a tablet. Started typing. "And how long have you been staying here?" "Since last night," Sky said. "Do you feel safe here?" "Yes." "Has Mr. Vail been treating you well?" "He made us soup. And gave us beds." Sandra nodded. She looked at Cole. "May I see the room where they're sleeping?" "Down the hall. Second door on the left." She walked toward it. Marcus stayed in the kitchen, watching the girls. "Do you go to school?" he asked. "We used to," Sky said. "Where?" "I don't remember the name." Marcus wrote something down. "And where are your parents?" The girls looked at each other. Then at Cole. "Their mother passed away," Cole said. "Their father is standing right here." Marcus looked up. "Are you the biological father?" "Yes." "Can you prove that?" DNA test is being processed. Results come back next week. And until then? I have temporary guardianship paperwork being filed today. Marcus didn't look impressed. That's not how this works. Without documentation, these children are technically in an unsupervised situation. Cole's jaw tightened. They're not unsupervised. I'm supervising them. You're a stranger to them. I'm their father. Sandra came back from the hallway. The room is clean. 2 beds. Everything looks appropriate. Marcus frowned. That doesn't mean this is the right placement. They're not being placed, Cole said. They're home. Sandra held up a hand. Mr. Vale, we're not here to take anyone. We're here to assess the situation. That's all. And what's your assessment? She looked at the girls. At the breakfast on the stove. At the lamp still burning above the counter. You seem to care about them. That's clear. But we need documentation. Birth certificates. Proof of relationship. Legal custody agreements. I have a lawyer handling all of that. Then we'll follow up with him. In the meantime, we'll be checking in weekly. Just to make sure everything is stable. Marcus added, if anything changes, we'll need to be notified immediately. Cole nodded. Understood. Sandra handed him a card. Call if you need anything. We're here to help. They left. Cole closed the door and leaned against it. His heart was pounding. Sky stood up. Are they coming back? Maybe. But it's fine. They just want to make sure you're okay. We are okay. I know. He walked back to the stove. The eggs had gone cold. He scraped them into the trash and started over. This time, the girls helped. Maya handed him the bread for toast. Sky poured the juice. They ate together at the counter. The lamp glowed beside them. The apartment didn't feel so big anymore. After breakfast, Cole found Nora's notebook again. He flipped through the pages. Past the soup recipe. Past the grocery lists. Past the sketches of things she wanted to remember. Then he found it. A note, written in the margin. Small handwriting. Easy to miss. Light the kitchen lamp when you bring them home. It's not a metaphor. It's instruction. Cole stared at it. She'd known. She'd planned every detail. Even down to the lamp. Even down to the timing. He looked at the girls. Sky was drawing on a napkin. Maya was humming softly, swinging her legs under the counter. He saw it then. The way Maya tilted her head when she was thinking. Exactly like Nora used to. The way Sky smiled when she thought no one was watching. Half hidden. Like it was a secret. They were pieces of her. Living pieces. Made new. If this moment just hit you in the feels, you're not alone. Subscribe so you never miss stories like this that remind us what family really means. And here's my question for you, what small gesture from someone you loved still affects you today? Share it in the comments, let's honor the people who shaped us. Now let's see what happens next. Do you two want to pick out your own rooms? Cole asked. They looked up. We already have a room, Sky said. I mean permanently. You can redecorate. Paint the walls. Pick out new furniture. Whatever you want. Maya's eyes widened. We get to stay? You were always going to stay. Sky bit her lip. But the people who came. They said they're checking in. Not taking you. There's a difference. Maya slid off her chair and walked over to him. She hugged his arm. Thank you, she whispered. Cole's throat tightened. He put his hand on her head. You don't have to keep thanking me. Mama said we should. Every day. He didn't know how to respond to that. So he just nodded. The rest of the morning passed quietly. They watched the city wake up outside the window. They played a card game Nora had left in a drawer. They laughed when Maya won 3 times in a row. For the first time in 2 years, the apartment felt alive. But around noon, Cole's phone rang. It was Jonas. We have a problem, Jonas said. Victor called an emergency board meeting. Tomorrow. They're voting on whether to remove you as CEO. Cole stood up. Walked to the window. On what grounds? Instability. Erratic behavior. Putting the company at risk. I'm taking care of my kids. That's not erratic. They don't see it that way. And Lena just filed a legal claim. She's saying the surrogacy agreement was void because Nora signed it without your consent. She wants full custody. Cole's blood went cold. She can't do that. She's trying. And if the board votes you out, you'll lose the resources to fight her. Cole looked back at the girls. They were laughing. Safe. Unaware. What do I do? Jonas paused. You show up tomorrow. And you make them remember who you are. The line went dead. Cole stood there, staring at his reflection in the window. Behind him, Maya called his name. Cole? Can we go outside? He turned. Forced a smile. Maybe later. But even as he said it, his phone buzzed again. A news alert. Breaking, Vail Industries Board questions CEO's fitness. Emergency vote scheduled. Below it, another photo. This one taken from a distance. Through his apartment window. Him. Standing with the girls. All 3 of them visible. The caption underneath made his stomach turn. Is Cole Vail protecting these children, or hiding something? By afternoon, the cameras arrived. Cole saw them from the window. 3 news vans. Maybe 4. Reporters setting up on the sidewalk. Photographers with long lenses aimed at his building. His phone rang. Rhea. Turn on the news, she said. He grabbed the remote. Flipped to a local station. His face filled the screen. Old footage from a company event. Then a cut to the shelter. Then the photo of him and the girls. The anchor's voice was smooth. Professional. But the words were sharp. Questions continue to swirl around billionaire Cole Vail and the 2 children he reportedly took into his home without legal authority. Sources say Child Protective Services visited the residence this morning. No statement has been issued. We'll keep you updated as this story develops. Cole turned it off. They're outside my building, he said. I know, Rhea replied. They called me an hour ago asking for a comment. I didn't give them one. What do I do? That depends. Are you going to hide? What's the alternative? You face them. You tell the truth. You let people see that you're not ashamed. Cole looked at the girls. They were sitting on the couch, coloring. Unaware of the storm brewing outside. What if it makes things worse? It's already worse. If you run, they'll write the story for you. If you stand still, at least you get to say what's true. Cole exhaled. I don't know if I can do that. Then don't do it for you. Do it for them. She hung up. Cole set the phone down. Walked to the couch. Sat beside the girls. We need to go outside for a few minutes, he said. Sky looked up. Why? There are people who want to ask me questions. About you. About us. Maya's crayon stopped moving. Will they be mean? Maybe. But I need to show them that we're not hiding. That we're not scared. Are we scared? Sky asked. Cole smiled. A little. But that's okay. He stood. Held out his hands. The girls took them. They walked to the elevator. Rode down in silence. When the doors opened, the lobby was empty except for the doorman. Mr. Vale, the doorman said. There's a crowd outside. I know. Do you want me to call security? No. Just open the door. The doorman hesitated. Then nodded. Cole stepped outside. The girls stayed close. Immediately, the cameras swung toward them. Shutters clicked. Voices shouted. Mr. Vale. Who are these children? Are they related to you? Is this a publicity stunt? Cole raised a hand. The noise didn't stop, but it softened. These are children, he said. His voice was steady. Calm. They are safe with me. That's all anyone needs to know. Are they your biological daughters? Yes. Can you prove that? I don't owe you proof. I owe them safety. A reporter pushed forward. Mr. Vale, sources say you have no legal custody. Is that true? Paperwork is being filed. Everything is being handled properly. But until then, aren't you just a stranger to them? Cole's jaw tightened. I'm their father. How long have you known them? Long enough. Another voice shouted. What would Nora say about this? Cole stopped. Looked directly at the camera. Nora planned this. Every piece of it. These girls are here because she made sure they would be. If you want to question someone's judgment, don't question mine. Question your own. He turned. Walked back inside. The girls followed. The door closed behind them. The noise faded. In the elevator, Maya looked up at him. You did good. Cole smiled despite himself. You think so? Mama would have been proud. His throat tightened. He didn't respond. Back in the apartment, he turned on his phone. The video was already online. Posted. Shared. Edited into clips. The headline, Billionaire claims random girls are his, offers no proof. The clip they used was 5 seconds long. Just the part where he said, I'm their father. Cut off before the rest. No context. No explanation. The comments were brutal. This guy is losing it. Someone check on those kids. Where's CPS when you need them? Cole set the phone down. Closed his eyes. It rang again. Victor. He answered. What the hell was that? Victor's voice was sharp. Furious. That was me telling the truth. That was you making this 10 times worse. Do you have any idea what the board is going to say tomorrow? I don't care what the board says. You should. Because they're not just questioning your judgment anymore. They're questioning whether you should be near those children at all. Cole stood. Walked to the window. The cameras were still there. Waiting. Let them question. I'm not changing my answer. Then you're going to lose everything. Not everything, Victor. Not them. Cole just chose his daughters over his billion-dollar company. If you're rooting for him right now, smash that subscribe button because you understand what this channel is about, stories where love wins. Drop a comment, would you make the same choice Cole just made? What would you sacrifice for family? Let me know below. Now, let's find out if he can actually pull this off. Victor was quiet for a moment. Then his voice came back, colder. The vote is tomorrow at 9. If you don't show up, they'll vote you out anyway. If you do show up and can't prove you're stable, same result. Either way, you're done. We'll see. Cole hung up. He looked at the lamp. Still burning. Still steady. Tomorrow, he said quietly. We finish this our way. Behind him, the girls were already asleep on the couch. Maya's head rested on Sky's shoulder. Their breathing was soft. Even. Cole grabbed a blanket and covered them. Then he sat in the chair across from them and watched. He stayed there for hours. Planning. Thinking. Preparing. By midnight, he knew what he had to do. He pulled out his phone. Called Jonas. I need everything, Cole said. The surrogacy agreement. The video. The birth certificates. Everything Nora left. I'm bringing it all tomorrow. You sure about this? No. But I'm doing it anyway. Jonas paused. Then I'll see you at 9. Cole hung up. Looked at the girls one more time. Then he walked to his bedroom. Pulled Nora's envelope from the drawer. The one Jonas had given him. The one he still hadn't opened. He sat on the edge of the bed. Held it in both hands. The seal was still intact. He tore it open. Inside was a single sheet of paper. Folded once. He unfolded it. At the top, in Nora's handwriting, for the boardroom. Below that, 2 sentences. If you must choose between the company and the lamp, let the lamp win. They'll remember you for what you kept burning, not what you built. Cole read it 3 times. Then he folded it. Put it in his pocket. And for the first time in 2 years, he slept through the night. But when he woke up, his phone was ringing. It was Sandra from CPS. Mr. Vale, we have a problem. Lena Marsh just filed an emergency petition. She's requesting immediate removal of the children from your custody. The hearing is in 2 hours. Cole checked the time. 7:15. The hearing was at 9. The board meeting was at 9. He couldn't be in 2 places at once. Which one matters more? Jonas asked over the phone. Both. Pick one. Cole looked at the girls. They were eating cereal at the counter. Still in their pajamas. Still unaware. The hearing, he said. Then I'll handle the board. But Cole, if you lose custody today, the board vote won't matter anyway. I know. He hung up. Walked to the guest room. Opened the closet. He needed to get dressed. Needed to think. Needed to find something that would prove Lena was wrong. But as he reached for a shirt, his hand hit something on the shelf above. A picture frame. Face down. He pulled it out. Turned it over. It was a photo of Nora. From their wedding day. Smiling. Radiant. The frame was simple. Silver. Clean. He'd put it here after she died. Couldn't stand seeing it every day. But couldn't throw it away either. Now he looked at it. Really looked. Behind the glass, the photo sat slightly crooked. Like something was wedged behind it. Cole flipped the frame over. Unclipped the back. The photo fell into his hand. Behind it was an envelope. Manila. Sealed. Flat against the backing. His heart stopped. On the front, in Nora's handwriting, when you're ready to fight. Cole sat on the edge of the bed. Opened it carefully. Inside was a letter. 3 pages. Handwritten. Dear Cole. If you're reading this, then the storm has already started. Lena is pushing. The board is questioning. And you're wondering if I made a mistake. I didn't. Cole's hands trembled. Lena is not a bad person. She carried our daughters when I couldn't. She sang to them when they were too small to know what music was. She held them when they cried. And she gave them up because I asked her to. But that doesn't mean she won't fight. When I hired her, she was struggling. She needed money. She needed purpose. I gave her both. And in return, she gave me hope. But I knew there would come a time when she'd regret it. When she'd want them back. When she'd convince herself that carrying them made them hers. That's why I waited. That's why I told her not to bring them to you right away. I needed you to be ready. And I needed her to realize she couldn't keep them. Cole's throat tightened. She'll tell you the agreement was invalid. That I signed it without your consent. That I manipulated her. She's wrong. Everything was legal. Everything was documented. Jonas has copies. The clinic has copies. Even Lena has a copy, though she'll pretend she doesn't. But here's what she won't tell you. She stayed in their lives longer than she was supposed to. She visited them. She brought them gifts. She called herself their mama because I let her. I let her because I thought it would make the transition easier. I thought if she had time with them, she'd understand that love doesn't mean ownership. I was wrong. Cole, read faster. If she's fighting for custody, it's because she's scared. Scared that you'll take away the only thing that made her feel needed. But you're not taking anything. You're keeping a promise. Tell her that. Remind her why she agreed to this in the first place. Remind her that she wanted these girls to have a father. A real one. And if she still won't listen, show her this. Cole turned the page. Clipped to the back was a photocopy of a document. A signed agreement. Dated 4 years ago. At the top, voluntary relinquishment of parental rights. Lena's signature was at the bottom. Clear. Legible. Notarized. Beside it, a paragraph in bold. I, Lena Marsh, hereby acknowledge that I am acting solely as a gestational surrogate. I understand and agree that I hold no parental rights to any child born as a result of this agreement. I further agree not to pursue custody, visitation, or any legal claim to said child or children. Cole stared at it. She'd signed this. Years ago. Before the girls were even born. Wait. Nora planned this years in advance? If you're already hooked by this mystery, hit that subscribe button right now because this story is just getting started. And drop a comment below. Would you have opened that storage box immediately, or would you have waited like Cole did? I'm reading every single comment. Now, back to the story. And now she was trying to undo it. He kept reading. If you must choose between the company and the lamp, let the lamp win. They'll remember you for what you kept burning, not what you built. I love you. I always will. And so will they. Nora. Cole folded the letter. Slid it back into the envelope. Stood. He walked to the kitchen. The girls looked up. We have to go somewhere, he said. Right now. Where? Sky asked. To tell the truth. Maya frowned. About what? About who you are. And who I am. And why no one gets to change that. He grabbed his coat. Handed them theirs. 10 minutes later, they were in the car. Heading downtown. Jonas called. Where are you? On my way to the courthouse. Good. I'll meet you there. But Cole, Lena showed up early. She brought a lawyer. A good one. So did I. You don't understand. She's not just asking for custody. She's asking for a restraining order. Against you. Cole's grip tightened on the wheel. On what grounds? She's claiming you're unstable. That you took the children without consent. That you're a danger to them. That's insane. She has evidence. Photos. Texts. Witness statements. From who? Jonas paused. From someone inside your company. Someone who's been watching you. Cole's blood went cold. Who? Victor. The line went dead. Cole pulled into the courthouse parking lot. Turned off the engine. The girls were quiet in the back seat. Through the windshield, he saw Lena standing on the courthouse steps. She wasn't alone. Beside her stood Victor Hale. And behind them, a woman in a dark suit holding a briefcase. Lena saw him. Smiled. Then turned and walked inside. Cole walked up the courthouse steps with the girls beside him. Lena watched him approach. Her face was calm. Almost sympathetic. Victor stood next to her, arms crossed. He didn't look apologetic at all. Cole, Lena said softly. I was hoping we could talk before this gets messy. You filed for emergency removal. It's already messy. Because you're not thinking clearly. These girls need stability. Not a man who's still mourning his wife. Cole's jaw tightened. I'm their father. On paper. Maybe. But I carried them. I raised them for 3 years. I'm the only mother they've ever known. Skye stepped forward. Her voice was quiet but firm. You're not our mama. Lena's face fell. Skye, honey, I know this is confusing. You left us at the shelter. Mama said you would. She said you'd try to take us back when you got scared. Lena blinked. She told you that? She told us a lot of things. Maya nodded. She said you were kind. But you weren't ours. Lena looked like she'd been slapped. Victor cleared his throat. This is exactly why we need a judge to decide. Children this young can be easily influenced. Cole turned to him. You're helping her? After everything? I'm protecting the company. Your behavior has been erratic. The board agrees. The board doesn't know the full story. Then tell them. Right now. They're waiting. Cole checked his watch. 8:50. Jonas appeared at the top of the steps, out of breath. The hearing's been postponed. Judge got called to an emergency. We're rescheduled for this afternoon. Cole looked at Lena. Then at Victor. Then at Jonas. You planned this, Cole said to Victor. Victor smiled. I gave you a choice. Hearing or meeting. You can't win both. So pick. Cole's phone buzzed. A text from Rhea. Get to the boardroom. I'm already here. Trust me. Cole looked down at the girls. Stay with Jonas. I'll be back in an hour. No, Skye said. We're coming with you. This isn't. Mama said we'd need to be there. She said it in her letter. Cole froze. What letter? Maya reached into her coat pocket. Pulled out a folded piece of paper. Worn at the edges. Like it had been read many times. She gave it to us before she sent us to you. It says to stay close when people try to pull you apart. Cole took the letter. Opened it. Dear Skye and Maya. If you're reading this, then someone is trying to separate you from your father. Don't let them. Stay close. Stay visible. Remind them that you're not a problem to be solved. You're children who need their dad. Love, Mama. Cole's throat burned. He looked at Jonas. Can they come? Jonas hesitated. Then nodded. It's unconventional. But it might help. They walked to the parking garage. Lena called after them. Cole, you're making a mistake. He didn't turn around. 15 minutes later, they arrived at Vale Industries headquarters. The building was glass and steel. Cold. Impressive. Cole hadn't been here in weeks. They took the elevator to the 15th floor. The boardroom was at the end of the hall. Through the glass walls, Cole could see them. 12 board members. All seated. All waiting. Victor was already inside. He'd beaten them there. Rhea stood outside the door. She looked at the girls. Then at Cole. You ready? No. Good. That means you still care. Cole opened the door. The room went silent. Victor was at the head of the table. Papers spread out in front of him. A projector screen behind him. Jonas slipped in behind Cole. Rhea followed. The girls stayed close. Cole, Victor said. His voice was smooth. Professional. Thank you for joining us. Though I wasn't expecting guests. They're not guests. They're my daughters. One of the board members, a woman named Helena, leaned forward. Mr. Vale, this is highly irregular. So is calling an emergency vote to remove me. We're concerned about your judgment, Victor said. The last few days have raised serious questions. What questions? Victor clicked a button. The screen behind him lit up. Photos appeared. Cole leaving the cemetery with the girls. Cole at the shelter. Cole on the courthouse steps. You've been photographed with unidentified children. You've made no public statement. You've ignored multiple requests for clarification. And now we learn you're facing legal challenges regarding custody. Those challenges are baseless. Are they? Because from where we're sitting, it looks like a man in crisis making reckless decisions. Helena spoke again. Cole, we all loved Nora. We respect your grief. But this company needs leadership. Stable leadership. I am stable. Then explain this. Victor pulled out another document. Child Protective Services visited your home. Reporters are camped outside your building. And a woman claiming to be the biological mother of these children has filed for custody. How is any of that stable? Cole looked at the faces around the table. Some sympathetic. Most uncertain. I don't owe you my personal life, he said. But I'll give it to you anyway. He pulled the envelope from his coat. The one from behind the frame. Nora planned this. Before she died. She arranged a surrogacy. She used our embryos. These girls are mine. Biologically. Legally. In every way that matters. He placed the relinquishment agreement on the table. Lena Marsh signed away her parental rights 4 years ago. She's trying to undo that now because she regrets her choice. But her regret doesn't change the law. Helena picked up the document. Read it. Passed it to the person next to her. Victor's smile faded. Even if that's true, it doesn't change the fact that you've been distracted. Unreliable. Unavailable. I've been a father. You've been absent. I've been present. For the first time in 2 years. Jonas stepped forward. He set a laptop on the table. Before you vote, there's something you need to see. Victor stood. This is out of order. Sit down, Victor. Helena's voice was sharp. We'll decide what's in order. Jonas opened the laptop. Clicked a file. Nora's face appeared on the screen. The room went still. Her voice filled the space. Warm. Clear. Alive. If you're watching this, then Cole is probably standing in front of you, trying to explain something that doesn't make sense. Several board members leaned forward. I know how this looks. I know you're worried. But let me tell you something about the man I married. Nora's eyes were bright. Certain. He built this company because he wanted to create something that lasted. Something that mattered. But he forgot that companies don't last. People do. Love does. Promises do. She paused. I'm asking you to give him time. Time to be a father. Time to keep the promise I couldn't keep myself. Because if you take this company from him now, you're not protecting anything. You're just punishing him for choosing his children over your comfort. The screen went dark. No one spoke. Helena looked at Victor. Then at Cole. I'd like to call for a vote, she said. Victor opened his mouth. Closed it. Sat down. All in favor of removing Cole Vale as CEO, raise your hand. 2 hands went up. Then lowered. All opposed. 10 hands rose. Helena nodded. Motion denied. Cole remained CEO. Victor's face went red. He stood. Grabbed his papers. Walked out without a word. The room exhaled. Cole looked at the girls. They were holding hands. Watching him. Meeting adjourned, Helena said. She stood. Walked over to Cole. Extended her hand. Don't make us regret this. He shook it. I won't. She looked at Sky and Maya. Welcome to the chaos. Then she left. Jonas closed the laptop. Rhea smiled. Well, Rhea said. That went better than expected. Cole's phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. You won the board. But you won't win the hearing. See you at 2. Below it, a photo. The courthouse. Empty steps. And standing at the top, barely visible in the shadow of the doorway, was Lena. Holding a briefcase. And smiling. Cole stood outside the courthouse at 1:30. The cameras were back. More than before. Reporters lined the steps. Microphones pointed at him like weapons. Jonas touched his arm. You don't have to do this. Yes, I do. The girls stood behind him. Sky held his hand. Maya held Sky's. Ready? He asked them. They nodded. Cole stepped forward. The cameras surged closer. I'm going to make one statement, he said. His voice carried over the noise. Then I'm going inside. The crowd quieted. My name is Cole Vale. These are my daughters, Sky and Maya. Their mother was my wife, Nora. She arranged their birth through surrogacy before she passed away. Everything was legal. Everything was planned. And everything was done out of love. A reporter shouted. Why didn't you tell anyone sooner? Because I didn't know. Nora kept it from me until I was ready to hear it. She knew I needed time to grieve before I could be their father. What about Lena Marsh? She claims she's their mother. She was the surrogate. She carried them. And I'm grateful for that. But she signed away her parental rights 4 years ago. She knew what she was agreeing to. Then why is she fighting for custody now? Cole paused. Because carrying a child makes you feel like they're yours. I understand that. But feeling isn't the same as being. Those girls are mine. Through biology. Through law. Through choice. Another voice called out. What if the judge disagrees? Cole looked directly at the camera. Then I'll appeal. And I'll keep appealing. Because I'm not giving up on my daughters. He turned to walk inside. Mr. Vale. A woman's voice stopped him. What would Nora say if she were here? Cole turned back. His throat tightened. She'd say I'm late. But I'm here now. And that's what matters. He walked up the steps. The girls followed. Jonas and Rhea flanked them. Inside, the courthouse was cold. Quiet. Their footsteps echoed on the marble floor. The courtroom was on the second floor. Small. Plain. Wooden benches. A single judge's bench at the front. Lena was already seated. Her lawyer beside her. A woman in her 40s with sharp eyes and a sharper suit. Cole sat on the opposite side. The girls between him and Jonas. The bailiff stood. All rise. The Honorable Judge Patricia Keene presiding. Everyone stood. Judge Keene entered. She was older. Gray hair pulled back. Glasses perched on her nose. She sat. Everyone else sat. "This is a custody hearing," she said. Case of Marsh vs. Vale. Ms. Marsh, you're petitioning for full custody of the minors Sky and Maya Vale. Is that correct? Lena's lawyer stood. Yes, Your Honor. And Mr. Vale, you're opposing this petition. Jonas stood. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Vale is the biological father and has been acting as primary guardian since the children were placed in his care. Placed by whom? By Ms. Marsh herself. 2 weeks ago. Judge Keene looked at Lena. Is that true? Lena stood. Yes. But I didn't intend for it to be permanent. I thought he'd help temporarily. Then return them to me. Did you have that agreement in writing? No. But. Then why are we here? Lena's lawyer stepped in. Your Honor, my client was the gestational surrogate for these children. She carried them for 9 months. She cared for them for 3 years after birth. She has established a bond with them that cannot be ignored. And Mr. Vale? Jonas placed the relinquishment agreement on the table. Ms. Marsh voluntarily relinquished all parental rights before the children were born. This document is notarized and legally binding. Lena's lawyer picked it up. Scanned it. Her face tightened. Your Honor, my client was under duress when she signed this. She was financially vulnerable. She was manipulated. By whom? By Nora Vale. The deceased wife of Mr. Vale. A murmur rippled through the courtroom. Judge Keene raised a hand. Enough. Ms. Marsh, did Nora Vale threaten you? No, but... Did she coerce you? She made me feel like I had no choice. Did you have legal representation when you signed? Lena hesitated. Yes. And did your lawyer advise you not to sign? He said it was my decision. Judge Keene leaned back. So you made a choice. A legal choice. Witnessed and notarized. And now you regret it. I didn't understand what I was giving up. You gave up children who were never yours to keep. That was the arrangement. Lena's eyes filled with tears. But I love them. I'm sure you do. But love doesn't override law. Judge Keene looked at Cole. Mr. Vale, do you have proof of paternity? DNA results will be available next week. But I have the surrogacy agreement, the birth certificates, and the relinquishment document. All listing me as the father. And what about the children's wishes? Jonas stood. Your Honor, if I may, the children are here. They can speak for themselves. Judge Keene nodded. I'd like to hear from them. Individually. In chambers. Lena's lawyer stood. Your Honor, these children are 7 years old. They can be easily influenced. They're old enough to express preference. Bailiff, bring Sky first. The bailiff gestured. Sky stood. Walked through the side door with the judge. The courtroom waited in silence. 5 minutes passed. Then 10. Finally, the door opened. Sky came back. Her face was calm. She sat down beside Cole. Whispered, "She's nice." "Maya," the judge called. Maya stood. Walked through the same door. Cole's hands were shaking. He gripped the edge of the table. Jonas leaned close. "They'll be fine." "What if they're not?" "Then we fight harder." The door opened again. Maya came back. She was smiling. Judge Keene followed her out. Sat at the bench. "I've heard from both children. They were clear and consistent. They want to stay with Mr. Vale." Lena stood. "Your Honor, please. Ms. Marsh, I understand this is difficult. But the law is clear. You relinquished your rights. Voluntarily. Legally. And the children have expressed their preference." She looked at Cole. "Mr. Vale, I'm granting you temporary full custody pending final DNA confirmation. Ms. Marsh, your petition is denied." Lena's face crumpled. Her lawyer put a hand on her shoulder. Judge Keene banged the gavel. "We're adjourned." Cole exhaled. His chest felt lighter. Jonas shook his hand. Rhea smiled. The girls hugged his arms. "We can stay?" Maya asked. "You can stay." They walked out of the courtroom together. Down the hall. Down the stairs. At the front door, Cole stopped. Through the glass, he could see the reporters. Still waiting. "One more time," he said to the girls. "Then we go home." He pushed the door open. The cameras turned. "Mr. Vale. What was the ruling?" Cole smiled. "They're mine. Legally. Finally. How do you feel?" "Like I can breathe again." "What about Lena Marsh?" "I hope she finds peace. But my daughters are coming home." He turned. Started walking toward the car. Then his phone buzzed. A text. From Lena. "You won. But this isn't over. Check your email." Cole opened his email. One new message. No subject. No text. Just an attachment. A video file. He clicked it. The screen loaded. It was security footage. Black and white. Dated 3 years ago. The location stamp read, Vale Industries. Executive floor. The video showed Nora. In a hallway. Talking to someone. That someone was Victor. And in Victor's hand was an envelope. The same envelope Lena had been holding on the courthouse steps. Cole watched the video 3 times. Each time, the same thing happened. Nora handed Victor an envelope. They spoke for less than a minute. Then Victor walked away, envelope in hand. The timestamp was clear. December 2022. 3 months before Nora died. Cole showed Jonas in the car. "What does this mean?" Cole asked. Jonas squinted at the screen. "I don't know. But Victor never mentioned knowing about the girls. Not once. He lied. Or Nora asked him not to say anything. Why would she do that?" Jonas didn't answer. They drove back to the apartment in silence. The girls fell asleep in the back seat. Exhausted from the day. When they got home, Cole carried Maya inside. Jonas helped with Sky. They put them to bed without waking them. Then Cole and Jonas sat at the kitchen counter. The lamp burned between them. "I need to talk to Victor," Cole said. "Not tonight. You just survived a custody hearing and a board meeting. Take the win. This doesn't feel like winning. It feels like half the story." Jonas poured himself water from the sink. "Tomorrow, you'll get DNA results. That makes custody permanent. After that, you can chase Victor all you want. What if he's hiding something? Then we'll find it. But tonight, you rest. Jonas left an hour later. Cole locked the door behind him. Checked on the girls. They were still asleep. He walked back to the kitchen. Pulled out his laptop. Opened his email again. Lena hadn't sent anything else. Just the video. He replayed it. Paused on Victor's face. The man looked calm. Professional. Like he was handling business. But why would Nora give him an envelope? Cole opened a new search window. Typed in Victor's name and Nora's. Looking for connections. Anything. Nothing came up. Just old company photos. Charity events. Board meetings. He closed the laptop. Rubbed his eyes. His phone rang. Unknown number. He almost didn't answer. But he did. Mr. Vale? A woman's voice. Professional. Clipped. Who is this? Dr. Ellen Park. From Genesis Fertility Clinic. I'm calling about your DNA test. Cole sat up straight. Already? I thought it took a week. We expedited it. Given the legal situation, we prioritized your case. And? A pause. Then her voice softened. Probability of paternity is 99.99%. Congratulations, Mr. Vale. They're yours. Cole's breath left his chest. You're sure? Completely. I'm emailing the official report now. You should have it within the hour. Thank you. Of course. And Mr. Vale? Your wife left a note with your file. Would you like me to read it? Cole's throat closed. Yes. Papers rustled on the other end. Then Dr. Park's voice came back. It says, Cole, when you get this result, don't cry. Just go wake them up and tell them. They've been waiting long enough. Cole's vision blurred. Thank you, he whispered. The line went dead. He sat there for a moment. Staring at nothing. Then he stood. Walked to the guest room. Opened the door quietly. Sky and Maya were tangled in blankets. Their breathing soft and even. He knelt beside Sky's bed. Touched her shoulder gently. Sky. She stirred. Opened her eyes halfway. Cole? I need to tell you something. She sat up. Rubbed her face. What's wrong? Nothing's wrong. I just got a call. The DNA test came back. She blinked. Fully awake now. And? Cole smiled. You're mine. Officially. No more questions. No more tests. You and Maya are my daughters. Sky stared at him. Then she climbed out of bed and hugged his neck. Maya woke up. What's happening? Cole says we're his, Sky said. Maya's eyes went wide. Really? Cole nodded. Really? She scrambled out of bed. Joined the hug. They stayed like that for a long time. Wrapped together in the dark. When they finally let go, Maya looked up at him. Does this mean no one can take us away? No one. Promise? Promise. Sky wiped her eyes. Mama knew. She said you'd tell us when it was time. Cole's chest ached. She was right. They climbed back into bed. He tucked them in. Turned off the light. Cole? Maya's voice was small. Yeah? Can we call you Dad now? He stopped. Turned back. You want to? If that's okay. His throat burned. That's more than okay. Okay. Good night, Dad. Good night. He closed the door. Stood in the hallway. Let the words sink in. Dad. He walked back to the kitchen. Sat at the counter. The email from Dr. Park had arrived. He opened it. Read the report. Printed it. Filed it in the folder Jonas had given him. Everything was official now. Legal. Final. But the video still sat on his phone. Unanswered. He opened it one more time. Watched Nora hand Victor the envelope. Then his phone buzzed. A text from Victor. We need to talk. Tonight. Your office. Come alone. Cole stared at the message. Another text came through. I know what Nora told you. And I know what she didn't. If you want the truth, you'll come. Cole's hands tightened around the phone. He looked at the lamp. Still burning. Then he grabbed his coat. 10 minutes later, he was in the car. Driving toward Vale Industries. The building was dark when he arrived. Only security lights glowing in the lobby. He took the elevator to the 15th floor. The executive wing. The hallway was empty. His office door was closed. He pushed it open. Victor sat in Cole's chair. Hands folded. Face calm. Close the door, Victor said. Cole did. You wanted to talk. So talk. Victor stood. Walked to the window. Nora came to me 3 months before she died. She asked me to do something. I said no. What did she ask? Victor turned. She asked me to fire you. Cole froze. What? She said if you stayed at this company after she died, it would kill you. That you'd bury yourself in work and forget to live. She wanted me to force you out. To make you choose something else. And you said no. I said I wouldn't destroy your career just because she was dying. Cole's jaw clenched. So what was in the envelope? Victor reached into his jacket. Pulled out a folded paper. Handed it to Cole. Cole opened it. It was a resignation letter. Typed. Signed by Nora. At the top, Cole Vale. Effective immediately. She signed your resignation? Cole asked. She forged your signature. Told me if you ever found out about the girls and tried to choose the company over them, I should use it. That I should force your hand. Cole stared at the letter. You kept this for 2 years? I kept it because I didn't know if I'd need it. And then you showed up with those girls. And I realized maybe she was right. So you tried to vote me out. I tried to make you choose. The way she wanted. Cole's hands were shaking. You had no right. She gave me the right. That envelope. That letter. She knew you'd fight to stay. So she made sure you couldn't. Cole looked at the letter again. At Nora's signature beside his forged one. Why didn't you tell me sooner? Victor's face softened. Because I was hoping you'd figure it out on your own. That you'd walk away from this place and choose them. And if I didn't? Victor walked to the desk. Opened a drawer. Pulled out another envelope. Then I was supposed to give you this. Cole took it. His name on the front. Nora's handwriting. He tore it open. Pulled out a single card. On the front, in Nora's handwriting. If you're reading this, then Victor finally did what I asked. Don't be mad at him. Be mad at me. I made him promise. Cole turned the card over. On the back, one sentence. Choose the lamp, Cole. The company will survive without you. They won't. Cole set the card down. Victor watched him. So what now? Cole didn't answer. He looked out the window. At the city below. At the light stretching to the horizon. Then his phone rang. It was Jonas. "Cole, we have a problem. CPS just called. Lena filed another petition. She's claiming the DNA test was tampered with." Cole's blood went cold. "That's impossible. She says she has proof. A whistleblower from the clinic. Someone who says Nora paid them to falsify the results. That's insane." "Maybe. But there's a hearing tomorrow morning. 8 a.m. If the judge orders a retest, everything gets put on hold." Cole hung up. Victor was staring at him. "What's wrong?" Cole's jaw clenched. "Lena's not done fighting." Cole didn't go home that night. He stayed at the office. Made calls. Talked to Jonas. Talked to Dr. Park. Verified every step of the DNA test. Every signature. Every seal. Nothing was wrong. Nothing was tampered with. The test was clean. But Lena was still pushing. By 6 in the morning, Jonas had filed a countermotion. By 7, they had statements from the clinic. By 7:30, Cole was too angry to think straight. Then Rhea called. "Stop," she said. "Stop what?" "Stop reacting. Start leading." "What does that mean?" "It means you have a company meeting in 30 minutes. You were supposed to announce something today. Remember?" Cole had forgotten. The quarterly meeting. The one where he was supposed to present the new initiative. The one Nora had started planning before she got too sick to finish. "I can't do that today." "Yes you can. Because if you don't, they win. Lena. Victor. Everyone who thinks you're falling apart. You show them you're still standing." Cole closed his eyes. "I don't know if I can." "Then fake it. That's what leadership is half the time anyway." She hung up. Cole looked at the clock. 8 minutes until the meeting. He grabbed his jacket. Walked to the conference room. The board was already there. 30 people. Some he knew. Some he'd never met. Helena sat at the front. She nodded when he walked in. "We're ready when you are," she said. Cole stood at the head of the table. No notes. No slides. Just him. 2 years ago, my wife died. Most of you knew her. Some of you worked with her. All of you saw what she built. The room was quiet. She spent her life asking one question. Who gets left behind? And then she did something about it. She funded shelters. She fed people. She made sure nobody stayed cold. He paused. When she got sick, she asked me to finish what she started. I didn't understand what that meant. Not until now. Cole walked to the window. Looked out at the city. I'm announcing a new department today. The Vale Initiative. It's going to fund shelters across the state. Starting with the one where my daughters stayed before they came home. A murmur went through the room. Rhea Stanton will run it. She's been doing this work for 20 years. She knows what people need. She knows how to help. Helena leaned forward. What's the budget? 10 million. First year. More if it works. Someone gasped. Someone else whispered. That's a significant commitment, Helena said. It's the right commitment. And if the board disagrees? Cole turned. Looked her in the eye. Then I'll fund it myself. But I'm hoping you won't make me. Helena smiled. I won't. Anyone opposed? Silence. Then it's approved. Welcome to the team, Miss Stanton. Rhea stood from the back of the room. Cole hadn't even seen her come in. She walked to the front. Dry smile on her face. "Titles don't warm hands," she said. "But budgets help. Let's get to work." The room laughed. Some of them wiped their eyes. Helena stood. Shook Rhea's hand. Then Cole's. "This is what we needed," she said quietly. "Thank you." Cole nodded. But he felt empty. Like he'd given a speech that didn't belong to him. After the meeting, Rhea pulled him aside. "You did good. Doesn't feel like it. That's because you're scared. But you showed up anyway. That's all anyone can do." His phone buzzed. "Jonas. Hearings in 10 minutes. Get to the courthouse." Cole looked at Rhea. "I have to go." "I know. Go finish this." He ran to the parking garage. Drove faster than he should have. Got to the courthouse at 8:07. Jonas was waiting outside. "Did we win?" Cole asked. "Judge wants to hear from the clinic directly. Dr. Park is on video call." They walked inside. Up the stairs. Into the same courtroom as yesterday. Lena was there. Same lawyer. Same face. But something was different. She looked tired. Judge Keene entered. Everyone stood. "Saturday. This is a motion to retest DNA," the judge said. "Ms. Marsh, you claim the original test was compromised. What's your evidence?" Lena's lawyer stood. "Your Honor, we have a statement from a former clinic employee who claims Mrs. Vale made irregular payments to staff shortly before her death. Do you have this person here to testify?" "No, Your Honor. But we have the statement in writing." Judge Keene frowned. "Hearsay isn't evidence. It's enough to raise doubt. Not in my courtroom." Judge Keene looked at the screen. "Dr. Park, you're under oath. Was there any irregularity in the DNA test conducted for Cole Vale?" Dr. Park's face appeared on the monitor. Calm. Professional. "None. The test was conducted by 2 independent labs. Both returned identical results. Chain of custody was maintained throughout. And the payments Mrs. Vale allegedly made? She donated to our research fund. Publicly. It's all documented. There was nothing irregular about it." Judge Keene looked at Lena. "Ms. Marsh, this motion is frivolous. I'm denying it. And I'm warning you. If you file another baseless petition, I'll hold you in contempt." Lena's face crumpled. "But Your Honor. We're done here." The gavel came down. Cole exhaled. Jonas clapped his shoulder. They walked out together. In the hallway, Lena was waiting. "Cole," she said. Her voice was broken. "Please." He stopped. "I'm sorry," she whispered. I can't let them go." "You have to. They're all I have left of her." Cole's chest tightened. "They're not hers. They're mine. And they're theirs. They don't belong to anyone's grief." Lena wiped her eyes. "She told me you'd say that." "Nora?" Lena nodded. "She said if I ever tried to take them back, you'd fight. And you'd win. Because you'd know what she knew." "What's that?" "That love isn't holding on. It's letting go when you have to." Lena walked away. Down the hall. Out the door. Cole watched her leave. Jonas touched his arm. "It's over." "Yeah." They walked outside. The sun was bright. Too bright. Cole's phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. "Congratulations. You kept your promise. Now it's time to keep mine. Check your mailbox at home." N. Cole stared at the screen. What is it? Jonas asked. Cole didn't answer. Because Nora had been dead for 2 years. And she'd just sent him a text. Cole drove straight home. Jonas called twice. He didn't answer. The text was still on his screen. Check your mailbox at home. N. It didn't make sense. Nora was gone. She couldn't send texts. Unless she'd scheduled it. Set it to send on a specific date. 2 years in advance. That was exactly the kind of thing she'd do. He pulled into the garage. Took the elevator up. Opened the door. The girls were in the kitchen with Rhea. Making sandwiches. Laughing about something. Dad. Maya ran over. Hugged him. Did you win? We won. Sky smiled. So no more court? No more court. Rhea wiped her hands on a towel. They ate breakfast. Did homework. We're about to watch a movie. Cole nodded. Thank you. Anytime. Rhea grabbed her bag. Call if you need me. She left. Cole walked to the mailbox by the door. The one inside the apartment. The one where the building left packages and letters. Inside was a single envelope. Cream-colored. Sealed. His name on the front. Nora's handwriting. He opened it carefully. Inside was a short note. And a key. The note said, Cole, if you're reading this, then it's been 2 years. The girls are with you. The lamp is still on. And you're wondering what comes next. What comes next is this: you take them to my grave. You bring fresh lilies. And you say goodbye. Not to me. To the version of yourself that couldn't let go. The key is for a safety deposit box. Bank of America. Downtown branch. Box 447. Inside is everything you'll need for their future. College funds. Medical records. Letters for their birthdays. I wrote them all. But don't open it today. Open it when they ask about me. When they want to know who I was. Then you'll have something to show them. I love you. I always will. Now go live. Nora. Cole folded the note. Put it in his pocket. Held the key. He walked to the kitchen. The girls looked up. Want to go somewhere? He asked. Where? Sky asked. To see your mom. They understood immediately. Grabbed their coats. Followed him out. 20 minutes later, they were at the cemetery. The air was warmer now. Winter was fading. The trees had small buds starting to form. Cole stopped at the flower shop by the gate. Bought fresh lilies. White ones. The kind Nora loved. Then they walked to her grave. The stone was clean. Someone had been maintaining it. Probably the groundskeeper. Cole knelt. Set the flowers down. The girls knelt beside him. For a long time, no one spoke. Then Sky reached out. Touched the stone gently. It's not as cold as before, she said. Maya touched it too. It's warmer. Cole nodded. Winter's ending. Sky looked at him. Does that mean we did it? What Mama wanted? What do you think? I think she knew we'd be okay. Maya rested her head on Cole's shoulder. I wish we could have met her. You did. Just not the way most people do. What do you mean? You met her through me. Through the lamp. Through every choice she made before you were born. She's in all of that. Sky smiled. Then we know her. Cole pulled out the photo. The one from the grocery bag. Him and Nora by the lake. He set it against the stone. Then he pulled out a piece of paper. Wrote something quickly. Folded it. Left it beside the photo. The light is on, Nora. Always. They stood together. Looked at the grave one more time. Ready to go home? Cole asked. The girls nodded. They walked back to the car. Slow. Quiet. But not sad. On the drive back, Maya asked, "Can we come back?" "Whenever you want." "Good. I want to bring her drawings. So she knows we're okay." Cole's throat tightened. She'd like that. When they got home, the apartment felt different. Lighter. Like something heavy had finally lifted. Sky and Maya went to their room. Cole walked to the kitchen. Turned on the lamp. It glowed the same as always. Warm. Steady. He sat at the counter. Pulled out his phone. Looked at the text again. "Check your mailbox at home. N." Then he noticed something. The timestamp. The message had been sent exactly 2 years after Nora's death. To the minute. She'd planned it. All of it. Even this final message. He smiled. Shook his head. "You really thought of everything," he whispered. Then his phone buzzed. A new message. From the same number. "One more thing. Under the couch cushion in the living room. Left side. I hid something there the week before I died. You'll know what to do with it." Cole stood. Walked to the couch. Lifted the left cushion. There was something tucked into the fabric. A small box. Wrapped in tissue paper. He pulled it out. Unwrapped it carefully. Inside was a ring. Simple. Silver. A woman's ring. And a note. "For Sky. When she's older. It was my mother's. Now it's hers." Cole stared at it. Then his phone buzzed again. "And Cole? Stop checking your phone. I'm not sending any more messages. This is the last one. I promise. Now go be their dad." He laughed. Wiped his eyes. Set the phone down. But as he put the ring back in the box, he saw something else. At the bottom of the tissue paper. Written in tiny letters. "P.S. Check the freezer." Cole walked to the kitchen. Opened the freezer. Behind the ice trays. Behind the frozen vegetables. Was a small envelope. Sealed with tape. He pulled it out. Opened it. Inside was a USB drive. And a sticky note. "This one's just for you. Watch it when you need to remember why you're doing this. N." Cole held the drive in his hand. Looked at the lamp. Looked at the hallway where the girls were laughing in their room. Then he heard it. A knock at the door. He walked over. Checked the peephole. A woman stood in the hallway. Dark hair. 30s. Holding a folder. He opened the door. "Can I help you?" She smiled. "Mr. Vale? I'm Kate Brennan. I worked with your wife at the clinic. I need to talk to you about the girls." Cole's jaw tightened. "What about them?" Kate glanced down the hall. Lowered her voice. "There's something Nora didn't tell you. About the surrogacy. About what she did to make sure it worked." "What are you talking about?" Kate opened the folder. Pulled out a medical record. Handed it to him. Cole scanned it. His blood went cold. At the top, genetic modification authorization form. Below that, patient, Nora Vale. Procedure, CRISPR gene editing. His hands started shaking. "What is this?" Kate's face was serious. Your daughters aren't just yours, Mr. Vale. They're different. And someone's been looking for them. Cole stared at the woman in his doorway. I think you have the wrong person, he said. Kate shook her head. I don't. I work directly with Nora. I was there when. When what? She looked past him. Into the apartment. Are the girls here? That's none of your business. Mr. Vale, please. I'm not here to cause trouble. I'm here to help. Nora asked me to check on them. 2 years after everything. Cole's jaw tightened. Nora's been gone 2 years. Why show up now? Because that's when she told me to. She was very specific. Cole looked at the folder in her hands. Then at her face. She didn't look threatening. Just tired. Worried. What did she ask you to do? Make sure they're healthy. Make sure they're growing normally. Make sure. She paused. Make sure you're ready to know the truth. What truth? Kate glanced down the hall again. Can I come in? Just for 5 minutes. Then I'll leave. Cole hesitated. Then stepped aside. Kate walked in. Set the folder on the counter. But before she could say anything, Skye appeared from the hallway. Dad? Who's that? Kate turned. Her face softened immediately. Hi, Skye. Skye froze. How do you know my name? I met you when you were very small. You probably don't remember. Maya appeared behind her sister. Curious. Cautious. Kate smiled. And Maya. You've both grown so much. Cole stepped between them. Girls, go back to your room for a minute. But. Now. They left reluctantly. Glancing back as they walked away. Cole turned to Kate. Kept his voice low. You have 2 minutes. Talk. Kate opened the folder. Nora came to the clinic 4 years ago. She wanted children. But the cancer treatments had damaged her eggs. So we used donor eggs. Combined with your sperm. Standard procedure. I know all this. But what you don't know is that Nora requested something extra. Something most patients never ask for. Cole's pulse quickened. What? Genetic screening. She wanted to make sure the embryos didn't carry any predisposition for the illness that killed her. She wanted to protect them. Cole exhaled. That's it? That's what you came here to tell me? That's the legal part. The part that's in the medical records. Kate pulled out another document. But there's more. Nora also paid for extended health monitoring. Blood work. Development tracking. She set up a fund to cover their medical care until they're 18. All of it anonymous. All of it managed through the clinic. She handed him a bank statement. Cole scanned it. The numbers were staggering. She left them this much. She wanted to make sure they'd never have to worry. About doctors. About treatments. About anything. Cole looked at the hallway. At the closed door where the girls were probably listening. Why didn't Jonas tell me about this? Because he didn't know. Nora set it up separately. Through me. She said you'd find out when you needed to. Not before. Cole set the paper down. Is that everything? Kate hesitated. There's one more thing. She left instructions. If the girls ever get sick. If they ever need anything. I'm supposed to help. No questions asked. Why you? Because I promised her I would. Kate's eyes were wet. She was my friend. And she saved my career when no one else would. I owe her this. Cole didn't know what to say. Kate closed the folder. I'll check in once a year. Just to make sure everything's okay. You won't even know I'm here. But if you need me, call. She handed him a card. Then she walked to the door. Stopped. Turned back. She loved you. And she loved them. More than anything. Don't forget that. She left. Cole stood there. Holding the card. Staring at nothing. After a moment, the girls came back out. Is she gone? Maya asked. Yeah. What did she want? Cole smiled. Just to check on you. Make sure you're okay. Are we? You're perfect. The rest of the day passed quietly. They made dinner together. Pasta. Nora's recipe. The one she'd written in the margins of her soup notebook. After dinner, the girls did homework at the counter. Cole washed dishes. The lamp burned beside him. For the first time in 2 years, the apartment felt full. Not empty. Not waiting. Just full. That night, after the girls were asleep, Cole sat in the kitchen. Alone. Quiet. He pulled out a notebook. One he'd bought weeks ago but never used. He opened it. Wrote at the top of the first page. Dear Nora. We're okay. He stared at those 2 words. Then kept writing. The girls are asleep. The lamp is still on. And I'm starting to understand what you meant. You didn't leave me instructions because you wanted me to follow them. You left them so I'd know I wasn't alone. I'm not. Thank you. Cole. He closed the notebook. Set it aside. Then he walked through the apartment. Turned off every light except the kitchen lamp. It glowed steady. Warm. Unchanging. He paused at the girls' door. Listened to their breathing. Soft. Even. Safe. Then he went to his own room. Lay down. Closed his eyes. And for the first time in 2 years, he didn't dream about losing Nora. He dreamed about tomorrow. About breakfast with the girls. About school drop-off. About normal things. Small things. Things that used to feel too ordinary to matter. Now they were everything. The lamp stayed on through the night. Just like it always would. Because some lights aren't meant to go out. They're meant to guide people home. And that's exactly what it did. 3 weeks later, Victor resigned. No press conference. No explanation. Just a one-line email to the board, effective immediately, I'm stepping down. It's time. Cole read it twice. Then deleted it. Helena called an hour later. We're appointing someone new. Her name is Grace Torres. She worked with Nora on the shelter projects. She knows what matters. Good, Cole said. And Cole? Thank you. For not giving up. He hung up before she could say anything else. The news picked it up the next day. Small article. Page 6. Vale Industries chairman steps down after leadership dispute. No one cared much. The story had already moved on. By the end of the week, the cameras were gone from outside his building. The reporters stopped calling. The headlines shifted to other people's problems. Cole took the girls to school for the first time. A small private school 3 blocks from the apartment. Quiet. Safe. The kind of place where kids could just be kids. Maya held his hand the whole walk there. Sky walked ahead, pretending she didn't need help but glancing back every few steps. What if they don't like us? Maya asked. They'll like you. How do you know? Because you're exactly the kind of people worth liking. She smiled. squeezed his hand tighter. At the entrance, a teacher met them. Young. Kind-looking. She knelt down to the girl's level. "I'm Ms. Brennan. Welcome. Are you ready?" Sky nodded. Maya hesitated. Cole knelt too. "You'll be okay. And I'll be here at 3 to pick you up. Promise?" "Promise." They walked inside. Sky first. Maya following. Cole watched through the window as they found their classroom. As they sat at desks next to each other. As they opened notebooks and picked up pencils. Normal. Ordinary. Perfect. He walked back home. The apartment felt too quiet without them. So he went to work instead. Grace Torres met him in his office. She was older than he expected. Gray streaks in her dark hair. Sharp eyes. Firm handshake. "I'm not here to replace Victor," she said. "I'm here to make sure you don't forget what you started. The Vale Initiative? All of it. The shelters. The kids. The promise you made to Nora." Cole nodded. "I'm not forgetting." "Good. Because Rhea needs more funding. The first shelter's already full. We need 3 more by summer. Then build them." Grace smiled. "I like working with people who don't waste time." Over the next month, the Vale Initiative expanded. 2 new shelters opened. Then a 3rd. Then a 4th. Rhea ran them all. She hired staff. Trained volunteers. Made sure no one stayed cold. The newspapers noticed. First a small piece. Then a bigger one. Then a profile in the Sunday paper, "The Billionaire Who Stayed Human." Cole hated the headline. But he read the article anyway. It talked about Nora. About the girls. About the choice he made to keep the lamp burning instead of letting the company take over his life. The quote they used was from Rhea, "He didn't save those girls. They saved him." Cole called her. "Did you really say that?" "I did. Because it's true." He didn't argue. At home, the girls were thriving. Maya started drawing. Not just pictures. Stories. Long, detailed stories about people and places she'd never seen. She'd sit at the counter with her crayons and fill page after page. Then she'd explain each one to Cole like she was narrating a documentary. "This one is about a woman who saved sea turtles. And this one is about a man who built houses out of old shipping containers. And this one is about..." "Where did you learn about all this?" Cole asked. "I just know. Mama used to tell stories like this. I remember." Cole looked at the drawings. They were good. Better than good. They had detail. Emotion. Purpose. "You're just like her," he said. Maya smiled. "I want to be." Sky was different. Quieter. But she noticed things. One morning, she saw a man sitting outside their building. No coat. Shivering. "Dad, he looks cold." Cole stopped. Looked at the man. "He does. Can we help him? What do you want to do?" Sky thought about it. "Give him a coat. And tell him where the shelter is." Cole smiled. "Let's do that." They went back upstairs. Grabbed one of Cole's old coats. Walked back down. Gave it to the man. "There's a place called Haven House," Sky said. 3 blocks that way. They'll help you." The man looked at her. Then at the coat. Then back at her. "Thank you," he whispered. Sky nodded. Walked away. On the way back up, Cole said, "That was good. What you did. Mama would have done it. She would have. Then I'll keep doing it. Someone has to check if people are cold. Sky just said she'll keep doing what Nora did, checking if people are cold. If this story changed how you see love, loss, and second chances, subscribe because there are more stories like this coming. And I want to know. What's one small way you can check if people are cold in your own life? Comment below. Seriously, your answer might inspire someone else. Now let's finish this journey together. Cole stopped walking. Looked at her. She said it so simply. Like it was the most obvious thing in the world. And maybe it was. That night, he wrote in his notebook again. Dear Nora. The girls are becoming who you knew they'd be. Maya draws your stories. Sky checks if people are cold. They don't even realize they're doing it. It's just part of them now. You did that. You made sure they'd carry you forward. Not as grief. As mission. I'm trying to do the same. Cole. He closed the notebook. Looked at the lamp. It burned steady. Like always. The next morning, his phone rang. Unknown number. He answered. A man's voice. Calm. Professional. Mr. Vale, my name is Dr. Richard Corwin. I'm calling from the National Genetics Research Institute. I need to speak with you about your daughters. Cole's stomach dropped. What about them? Their genetic profile appeared in our database. We've been monitoring certain markers. And I'm afraid there's something you need to know. What markers? The ones associated with accelerated development, enhanced cognitive function, and potential health complications. Cole's blood went cold. What are you saying? I'm saying your daughters aren't like other children, Mr. Vale. And we need to run tests. Immediately. Cole's grip tightened on the phone. Who gave you their information? A pause. Then, that's classified. But I can tell you this. If you don't bring them in voluntarily, we'll be forced to get a court order. The line went dead. Cole stood there. Phone in hand. Heart pounding. Then he looked at the lamp. And for the first time since it was lit, he felt the light flicker. Cole hung up the phone. Then he called Jonas. Someone from a genetics institute just called. They want to run tests on the girls. They said something about enhanced markers and court orders. Jonas was quiet for a moment. Did they say who gave them the information? No. Just that it was classified. That's illegal. Patient records are protected. Someone broke the law to access their files. Can you stop them? I can try. But Cole, if there's something actually wrong with the girls. There's nothing wrong with them. How do you know? Cole looked down the hall. At the closed bedroom door. At the light spilling underneath. Because I see them every day. They're healthy. They're happy. They're normal. Then we fight. I'll file an injunction. Block any court order. But you need to be prepared. If they push hard enough, this could get messy. Cole hung up. Walked to the girls' room. Opened the door quietly. They were asleep. Tangled in blankets. Breathing soft and steady. He watched them for a long time. Looking for signs. Looking for anything that seemed different. Wrong. Dangerous. But all he saw were two kids. His kids. He closed the door. Walked back to the kitchen. Sat under the lamp. His phone buzzed. A text from Kate Brennan. The woman from the clinic. I heard about the call. Don't panic. Call me. He dialed her number. She answered immediately. They can't touch the girls. How do you know? Because Nora sealed their records. Permanently. The only way anyone could access them is through illegal means. And if they did, we can prove it. Who would do that? Kate hesitated. Someone who knew what Nora did. Someone who worked at the clinic back then. I'm looking into it. What did she do, Kate? What was on that form you showed me? Nothing dangerous. I promise. She just wanted to screen for genetic illness. That's all. Then why are they calling? Because someone's lying. Trying to scare you. Trying to make you doubt. Cole's jaw tightened. It's working. Don't let it. The girls are fine. And I'll make sure they stay that way. She hung up. Cole sat there. Staring at the lamp. At the light that never went out. Then he opened his notebook. Wrote one line. Nora, if you're listening, I need you to be right about this. The next morning, Jonas called. The institute withdrew their request. No explanation. Just a one-line email saying they made an error. An error? That's what they said. I pushed. They wouldn't say more. But Cole, someone made them back off. And I don't think it was me. Cole thought about Kate. About the way she'd promised to protect the girls. Thank you, he said. Don't thank me. Stay alert. Someone out there knows about your daughters. And they're watching. Cole hung up. Looked at the girls. They were eating cereal at the counter. Laughing about something Maya had drawn. They didn't know. Didn't need to know. Not yet. He joined them. Poured himself coffee. Listened to them talk. Dad, can we go back to the grave today? Maya asked. Why? I finished the drawing for Mama. I want to leave there. Cole nodded. After school. That afternoon, they walked to the cemetery together. The air was warmer now. Spring was finally here. The trees had leaves. The grass was green. Maya carried her drawing. Sky carried fresh lilies. They knelt at the stone. Set everything down carefully. Do you think she can see us? Maya asked. Cole thought about it. About all the letters. All the plans. All the ways Nora had reached across time to guide them here. I think she always could. They stayed for a while. Quiet. Peaceful. Then Sky stood. I'm ready to go home. Cole smiled. Me too. That night, after the girls were asleep, Cole walked through the apartment. Turned off every light except the kitchen lamp. He paused at the door. Looked out at the city. At the light stretching to the horizon. Thank you, Nora, he whispered. Then he walked to the framed photo. The one from their wedding. He lifted it down. Pulled out a fresh piece of paper. Wrote on it. Dear Sky and Maya. If you ever forget how to begin again, remember this lamp. Your mother left it burning for you. I kept it burning for her. And someday, you'll keep it burning for someone else. That's how love works. It doesn't end. It just gets passed forward. Love, Dad. He folded the note. Tucked it behind the frame. Put it back on the wall. Then he walked to his room. Lay down. Closed his eyes. Down the hall, a small voice murmured in sleep. Please, Mama, don't stay cold. But the voice wasn't scared anymore. It was certain. Like a promise kept. Cole smiled. Let sleep take him. Outside, the city glowed. Indifferent and alive. Inside, warmth won. The lamp stayed on through the night. Just like it always would. And in the morning, when the girls woke up, they'd find breakfast waiting. They'd find their father smiling. They'd find a home that finally felt like one. But they wouldn't find the USB drive Cole had discovered weeks ago. The one labeled, "For Sky and Maya. Play this on their 10th birthday." It sat in a drawer now. Sealed. Waiting. Because some stories don't end. They just pause. Until it's time to begin again.